Hello, guys. Happy Halloween. Hope you guys had a good Halloween this year. I know I did. I have a ton of announcements to go over for the comments before we start with the weekly anime review. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is show you guys. I used to do this. I haven't done it in a while, but basically, I have a series of DVDs I get from the library, and I figure I'll show you guys what I'm watching. And maybe it'll be featured content on the channel. We'll see. So here it is. So far, it's all Bungo String Dogs. So I have here. So let's see. Here is season 1, 2, 3, and the movie Dead Apple. I also am collecting parts of Fruits Basket. Here's the first one. This is from the 2019. I already have the other one. I've already seen the other one, so that's kind of cool. So that's the first thing you might find interesting. All right, next thing you might find interesting, and let me share my screen to show you this. So I now have, I was discussing this before many times, that one of my goals was to get something set up before the month was over. And here it is. I now have the Discord server up and ready to go. I will share a link actually in the description. So let's see. I'll copy this link here. And here you go, guys. Oh, wait. That wasn't the link. What the hell? What the heck? Okay. One more time. Let's try this again. Okay. Here we go. That's the link. I'm not sure why it's not highlighted as a link. But there you go. The Discord server is up. I have a bunch of different categories and channels and all kinds of things. So join it when you can. I'll, of course, put this in the future videos and even the channel description as well, so you guys can join it. I don't entirely know exactly what I'm doing with this. So it is very possible that how I put this. Like the roles are kind of like, I don't have anything established yet. I also don't have certain bots things established yet. It's very possible we'll need more categories, more channels. I have no idea, but I'm just kind of a little bit seating my pants, and there's plenty of things left to do. I'll give you like a quick example. Like here I have the Code Geass watch order. It's blank, so I have to go and work on that. Same with the manga read order, and I just a bunch of stuff I wanted to do. When you guys mess around, let me know if you have suggestions, comments, things to improve on. I've never done this before, but I know it's like you now have to have a Discord server now to, I guess, run a YouTube channel. So there it is. It's finally done. I'll have a link to it in the description. Well, I got one here. I'm saying in future videos and in my channel descriptions. There we go. Join when you, I guess, want to. Okay, let's start with a quick anime review. This one is going to be, actually, hold on. There we go. And actually, we won't do banners for this. There's no need. Okay, we're going to talk about Hellsing Ultimate, which is just a masterpiece. Someone mentioned before in the Trigon review, which I think is important to note, is that I believe there was influence of Vash's Stampede in Alucard's design, which makes sense because both characters have long red capes. They both use, well, Vash has one main gun, but they use similar style guns, and there's a whole like even elements to that as well. They're both overpowering characters, although Alucard is definitely not a friendly guy compared to Vash's Stampede, and their goals are obviously different, but similar design. That's one thing I wanted to mention. So the Hellsing, the major plot of it, it's pretty straightforward, which is one of the best parts about the story, and it's simply that, so there's an organization called Hellsing, and they defend England from all sorts of creatures, mostly vampires. And their main weapon is Alucard, a vampire who has been around for a long time and seemingly impossible to kill. I'd say immortal, but they keep saying in the story, no one is truly immortal. But anyways, Alucard is this overpowered vampire who basically can kill anybody, anything. And throughout the entire story, each episode is basically a scenario that gets, I guess, created, and then there's a main guy who's responsible for it, who's working for a major organization called Millennium, which, if that sounds familiar, that's because in Gungrave, there's also an organization called Millennium. So I guess the name Millennian. I guess people liked using that in their in the name of their organizations because that's what was happening here. Anyhow, so he fights all these really powerful, enhanced vampires, and also human beings with the ability to regenerate their bodies, which were, I guess, invented by modern science and I guess magic's powers as well. They don't entirely explain that, but I really don't care because it's not. That's not this kind of show. Anyway, so Alucard is what's cool about him is that every single episode you get to see him of what more he can do because he has locks on his body. And every time he fights, he always says, which how many should I, remove before I go into combat? And obviously, at the end, you see them all. I know there's no spoilers, but like, yeah, you get to see. It's kind of like Naruto when Guy Sensei, he fights with the I'm trying to remember, I think it's the gates, and he obviously reveals more as he goes through, and then in the end you get to see him do all of them. It's the same thing here with Alucard. Every time he fights, he removes a little bit of the lock of his abilities, and then you see how it is at the end, and that's why the last 3 episodes are insane. And that's saying something because like every episode is insane. The conflicts they can be really small or large, but the amount of buys that pile up in this show is insane. I was thinking like maybe doing a kill count for this story because there'd be, oh my God, so many dead bodies. I would imagine the last episode, it must have been thousands. I didn't quite hear exactly how many they said were like fighting between the Vatican soldiers, the Iscariot, obviously the Nazis, which is the other part of the story too. Zombie Nazis, vampire Nazis. I'm not sure you can say that on stream, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So that's like the crux of it basically. Each episode kind of has like there's a bigger story going on, but in the meantime, you see Alucard just laying waste to people. And usually it's vampires, but there was one time where he actually was killing human beings. And I like how when he says Ceres, which is a good transition to that character, she's his, as he calls her, police girl. And she was basically minding her own business, helping her fellow men take down vampires. Well, she didn't know they were vampires, but she was investigating something as a police officer. And all of her men were turned to ghouls, and she was going to be killed, turned to a ghoul as well. But the guy wanted to do, I think he wanted to rape her first. So thank God that didn't happen. Alucard fired a bullet right through her chest, killing the ghoul, and then he turns her into a vampire. And there's a whole subplot about why he did that, and ultimately Ceres' untapped potential, which is another interesting plot of the story. But anyways, like I said, he was fighting with Ceres because she didn't want to kill innocent people. And Alucard was saying, or she didn't want to kill people. They were not innocent. They were coming to kill them. And Alucard was saying, look, it's kill or be killed. That's just how it is. Okay. If you can't handle it, I mean, that's how our situation is. I know that because they're used to killing vampires, which is, they're undead anyways. But when it comes to humans, Ceres wasn't entirely okay with that. And slowly she kind of not loses her humanity, but she kind of comes closer to becoming a vampire. And she constantly fights between like, should I drink blood, not drink blood? If I drink blood, I'll become a full vampire and then I'm no longer human. And part of me wants to retain my humanity. So there's a lot of deep elements there. And there's a lot of philosophy too with the main character, the main villain, I should say, the general and the major, and how he talks about like why he does what he does. Some of it to me was maybe a little over the top hyperbolic, but still, for an anime that's basically about a vampire who kills everyone in his wake with cool powers and powerful weapons, I like the deeper parts of the story when you actually want to break it down. There are so many cool fights. One other thing I forgot to mention is that the animation in this show is very beautiful. It has a very unique art style. I haven't seen any show that has even remotely replicated besides Drifters, but that was made by the same person. And there is some manga also written by the same person, which I've not looked at any yet, but I'm sure it's the same art style. But it's very unique. When you see Hellsing or Drifters for that matter, you haven't seen anything like that, and you never will again. And that's why it's just very unique with the eyes. There's a lot of dark backgrounds, but light colors. Anderson, he's such a cool character. He has like the light blue, shining over the darkness, and Alucard has the red. Lots of red and blues in this story. And there's great scenes where you'll see 2 people walking. Their whole bodies are blacked out, but their eyes are glowing, and it's really cool. They always make these conflicts maybe bigger than they should be, but it's so awesome. And with seeing everyone go out and using their insane abilities, especially towards the end, was quite a rush. This is one of those stories where I don't know. It's people say it's really good, and it is, and it's very violent. It's got a great story. It's only 11 episodes, an OVA. Each one's about an hour long. It doesn't feel like an hour long, although the only thing I will say is there's weird moments in the story where they tried to put like comedy into it, and depending on what your who you are, you may be off-putted by that. I personally don't care. As a Code Geass fan, I'm used to seeing a very dramatic scene followed by a very comedic scene. I'm used to it at this point, so it doesn't bother me too much. Well, I will say the art style difference is crazy because you see like a really serious moment, and then they might like shift it to not chibi, but like a different art style and almost comedic way. I'm not sure why I did it that way. It doesn't really, again, it doesn't really bother me too much, but it's one thing I guess is one aspect of the show that might upset some people. The other thing about the show that might upset certain people is that Alucard is basically he's like indestructible. He's extremely overpowering. Basically, no one can touch him. And some people said, well, it kills all the fun from the story because Alucard, if you can't lose, why watch the battles? Where's the tension? Well, my argument to that is Alucard, and this might be a video I do in the future, although the way YouTube tells the algorithm, who knows, but Alucard is like Undertaker in professional wrestling. And if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, I'll summarize like this. Undertaker had an undefeated streak in WrestleMania for many years. I forget how many it was, but he ultimately lost it to Brock Lesnar, which was the most controversial thing at the time. I still think it is now, honestly. But before he lost that, though, people would always come to WrestleMania to watch The Undertaker wrestle. Now, you're probably thinking, what's the point? He's going to win. Well, we didn't always know. And because we didn't always know for sure, there was that possibility he could lose. But ultimately, we want to see him win. We want to see him struggle. We want to see him rise up again. And Alucard is basically the same because we know he's going to win, but we want to see how he does it. And it's always fun to see each individual encounter, even though we know the outcome before going into the battle. That's what didn't bother me. It's probably the same thing for One Punch Man, which I have not seen, or Mob Psycho, written by the same person as One Punch Man. But that part, I can see why some people didn't like it. It's one of the big polarizing parts of the story from what I've seen in reviews on my anime list, which, let's be honest, you can't use that as a barometer anyways of like judging what is good or bad. But if you were, that was one critique that I saw. Again, didn't really affect me. When I first watched Hellsing Ultimate, I gave it like a 9 out of 10, and I was thinking about it, going through it again. It's way better. It's a 10 out of 10. I have really no issues with the story. It's one of the greats, one of the most violent anime I've ever watched, besides stories like Violence Jack. But unlike Violence Jack, there was less sexual stuff in this story. Although I will say there was many innuendos, and they definitely knew what they were doing with certain poses of the female characters. But it doesn't even come close to something like Violence Jack, thankfully. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Hellsing Ultimate. If you haven't seen it, I believe it's on Funimation and probably Hulu as well, since Funimation dubbed the story, in case you didn't know. Oh, I almost forgot. Jeez. The dubbing of this anime is really good because, hey guys, you didn't know, Orange Boy, Jeremiah from Code Geass, his actor, Crispin, I think his name is, he voices Alucard. And my God, is he good. When I first watched the show, it was subbed. And even though it was subbed, I enjoyed it subbed. So going through a dub was kind of painful at first. But hearing Jeremiah voice Alucard was perfect. I completely forgot that. And the guy who voiced Tenma and Joshiro voiced Walter. And there were other voice actors too, which I was listening to. They're like, oh, wait, I know that person. So the dubbing is actually very good. I think the sub is still better. But seeing Orange Boy play Alucard is it's a match made in heaven. That's the last point I wanted to make about Hellsing. But yeah, great show. Definitely watch it if you haven't, which I'm sure you guys have. I'll read some comments real quick, and then we'll get into the episode discussions. Okay. Natomir Greens, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. It's been a fun day. I've been spending all day trying to get that Discord server up, and even looking at it now, there's still plenty of stuff left to do. But yes, thank you for asking. It's going well. 1416 is the Mao trilogy. The big question is, who was the better arc villain, Clovis or Mao? Do we have to even... I don't think there's even a question about this. It is obviously Clovis. No, I think it's Mao. Clovis was barely a threat. What did he do to Lelouch exactly? Nothing. His only real threat to anybody, well, first of all to himself, but basically he had power. But when he actually fought Lelouch, and he didn't know he was fighting Lelouch, but when he fought him, I wouldn't even call that like a fight. That was pretty one-sided. Mao actually, at one point in this story, got Lelouch to beg on his knees for him to stop. Now, granted, Lelouch planned out he would do that, but still, he was begging at one point for Mao to leave him alone. No one has ever made Lelouch do that in the entire series except for, I guess, Schneisel. But other than that, no one's ever made Lelouch do that before, which is, I don't know what else to say about that. I feel like Mao's a character that made a big impression with a small amount of screen time. Yeah, not only that, but the other problem with Mao, well, was a problem, but yeah, he was actually on screen for really a couple episodes prior. Remember that there's like certain hints of him walking around, but his actual on screen, yeah, it was like 3 episodes. His impact comes later on in stage 23, 2. It's 2 when the command to Yuffie is given. And that's because of what we learned from Mao. So his impact in the story was, ways after the actual story itself. But I definitely agree. He definitely did a lot for the story for the 3 episodes. I don't think I would have wanted more of him. He was kind of annoying. There's some aspects of his character I just not the biggest fan of. But mostly because of writing, not so much him himself. The guy who voiced Jeremiah in the dub also voiced a villain in one of my favorite animes, Fate Zero. Was that Kotomine or was that Gilgamesh? I forget which. Was that Gilgamesh or Kotomine? I forgot his name. I can look up real quick. Let's see. I'll type it in. I know in the Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night rather, the Dieter Reed's. Yeah, Dieter Reed's voice actor voiced him as an older man. I think. I should have just typed in what's his face, Jeremiah. No, Jeremiah. Let's see, Emiya. I don't see Chris Crispin here. You might be confusing him with Dieter Reed. But here, let me just type in Jeremiah so we don't have to even speculate. Jeremiah Gottwald. 1 second. Let's see. He's got like 4 spoilers. I've never seen the character have like 5 different spoilers on their on their profile page. All right, Crispin Freeman. Let's see. Oh, he did. He did it in Fate Stay Night movie Heaven's Feel. So I don't know. I think you might be confusing him with Dieter Reed, who voiced him in Fate Stay Night. Maybe not. Let's see. In Fate Stay Night, the original story. He was in Blade Works as well. He played him. Okay. But what about Fate Zero? Oh, he did play him. All right, never mind. I guess he did. I was wrong. Well, I know as an adult, Dieter Reed played him. I know that for a fact. Okay. Is what it is. You didn't even see that because I wasn't sharing. Okay. All right. I think we're good. We can get started. Smaller crowd today. That's totally fine. Okay. First episode we're going to go through is. I forgot to write these down. Stage 14. Which is a really depressing episode, by the way, because it has like a. It's depressing because what happens with Shirley, and it's the whole controversy behind like whether the right thing to do, not the right thing to do, back and forth for that situation. But all right, let's go through it. Here's the intro, which I still don't like. So, in case you guys, we need like a little recap, little recap what happened last time. So, in stage 13, basically there was a conflict at Port Yokozuka, and ultimately Lelouch's nightmare frame crashed. He was left out. He was kind of hanging from the nightmare frame. His mask fell off, and then Viletta and Shirley were both found his body. And it kind of ends there, and I believe Suzaku was fighting the girl at the same time. So when you watch the intro part here, you'll see that they're actually fighting each other, and the fight eventually concludes. Colin, unfortunately, she retreats, so that's kind of that's where that conflict goes. Now C2 comes in, takes control because Lelouch is shooken up because of what happened, and she tells Ogi to tell everyone to retreat and stuff, and they actually believe him. Now I put a note here saying that. C2 actually had good leadership skills because she doesn't just tell Ogi to leave, or to retreat. She gives them a good reason why they should. Now, granted, maybe it was obvious, because they're going to get slaughtered. But the point is, it was actually a good explanation for them to leave. And it's one of the examples where I've said before many times that C2 has been around. Obviously, she's immortal, right? So she's been around forever. And because of that, she has a lot of experience in combat and leadership. And she's seen a lot of nations rise and fall. And that's why Reign of Darkness was so good because, well, Reign of Darkness wasn't good. Let me rephrase that. It was okay. But the best part about it was C2 because we get to see her in a more leadership position where she wasn't really doing too much of that in the original series. But we do see an example here of her telling Ogi to retreat. So I like that. We don't see much of it, but when we do, it's great. So here's a part where C2 is talking to Lelouch, and she's saying, hey, there were someone saw your face. And Lelouch is like, great. Someone has the someone took his gun. There were 2 people based on the blood. They apparently were going to analyze the blood, figure out who it was, although I never understood why they didn't just follow the trail to, wherever it led to find the body, but it is what it is. Okay, then we get to this important part of the story where Shirley writes a letter, and the letter talks about Zero and her father being killed, and what's important is that she throws it out. And the reason why that's important is because when Lelouch actually does this, erases her memories, he burns her diary, but he doesn't destroy this letter. He doesn't even know it existed. So when Shirley finds it later, it starts to mess with her mind. Like, wait, what's going on? How could Lelouch be Zero? How could my father be, how could he kill my father? All this stuff comes into her mind because of it. So this letter was actually more important than you might think. Anywho, she puts a gun in, Lulu's gun into her shirt, and she leaves for Narita. I don't know if it was at this moment, but she tended to do that. Then we get a scene where Nina's talking to the student council members, and she says she wants to meet Euphemia Lee Britannia because she wants to thank her. And her face blushes. I don't have the image here of her doing it, but this is This is the second time now third time that Nina expresses that she wants to thank Euphemia. When in reality, we know the real reason why she wants to see her. I mean, she doesn't do anything when she does finally meet up with her, but this girl is obsessed in a very romantic, I guess. It could just be, it's more lust, honestly, but she really wants to meet her. And apparently, Suzaku said he could make it happen, possibly. Nellie also said she wanted to meet her, which was kind of funny because Nellie's her sister, and she's playing it cool. Like, I want to meet her too. They're like, gee, I don't know, Nellie, you're kind of a cripple and a commoner. Rivalz also, for some reason, was leaning down into Millie's private area, and then she slapped him with the paper, understandably so. It was kind of weird. They think it's funny. I think it's kind of weird, in all honesty. Okay, so then when that conflict is over, let's say that's from Narita. Oh, that's right. Lelouch calls Suzaku because he wants to confirm that they don't his identity, which he now realized means they weren't there, so they don't know exactly who it could be. Lelouch speculates it might be Shirley because he saw her there, and then C2 does this weird pose, says, "Is that the girl who kissed you?" And he goes, give it a rest, just making sure it's the right person. So they have to go after Shirley, and they got to find her, and that's the next plan that's their next move, if you will. And they still haven't analyzed the blood yet. Then we're at the point now where Dalton explains, and the smart guy here, that the person, every single event has been targeting Cornelia specifically. And she's like, okay, take out enemy commander. And he's saying, no, I think this is more personal. That Zero must have something wrong he must have a vendetta against the royal family, which he was right, by the way. That was good on him to figure that out. And of course, Cornelia again implies, like, we really got to clean this place up so we can, put Euphemia in charge. Euphemia thinks about how Zero said, you think about the commoners, you haven't changed, which again is how Lelouch pretty much told her that he's Lelouch. Or Zero revealed to her that he was Lelouch. That's my opinion anyways. I think here she understood this. She doesn't tell anyone anything, but she basically implied by turn 19 that what's it called? That turn 19, stage 19. That she knew. So there's that. Then we're back in the core area, and so Cecil's talking to Suzaku to Llyod about certain issues with Suzaku, how his performance is excellent, but actually his mentally there's something going on with him, so they want to do an evaluation, see a doctor. Now, what I find interesting about this is that was a couple things. when they're talking, uh, Llyod says, "Are you taking care of him instead of someone else?" And I'm thinking, wait, who's he referring to? I was really confused. I think I wrote like, yeah, Llyod said, "Are you taking care of Suzaku instead of someone else?" And I was thinking, wait, did Cecil had a former lover? Now we find out later on there was a guy she was interested in, but I never got the impression that they were dating or anything. So I'm not sure what Llyod was even talking about here. Maybe he was teasing that they're dating or something. I don't know. It was kind of strange. They never follow up on it again. It was like a random joke. Maybe it was bad dubbing. I will confess, I didn't see this. I didn't read this or watch it sub for the scene, so I don't know exactly where or what rather they're referring to. But that was kind of interesting. Another thing that I found this scene that this is really insignificant, but to me it matters. So I'm pulling it up right here because you can't see it so well. I'm going to mute my thing so I don't get in trouble. Go on now. Let me load up real quick. 14. So during that scene when they're talking, so they don't give it to you in one shot, which is kind of annoying. But if you, let's see, maybe they do. Okay, so Llyod's typing on his computer. So Cecil's wearing a certain outfit. Now, you're probably wondering, like, okay, so what? Well, yeah, see this outfit here? I have the game generator code loaded up. We're not going to play right now, but I just want to show you something. Let me get to it real quick. Yeah, see this outfit here? Here. This is the same outfit she's wearing in that scene. I was wondering the whole time where they came up with this for the game, but apparently it's this scene here. So, little trivia for you. This is where they came up with that outfit. All right, that's enough of that. Okay. We get a funny scene where Lelouch and C2 go through Shirley's underwear after he commands this girl to make them clean the room or wait for them to clean the room, which is, it's kind of a funny command. They're going through it, and I like how she says, "I have to go through a girl's underwear. It's going to cost you." And he's like, "Always does." The banter between the two are really funny. She goes to the diary, and the last day thing was before the father died or after the father died, and they find the ticket to go to Narita. Lelouch grabs the photos, which I didn't think was a big deal at first, but actually was a really smart plan to prevent Shirley from going too crazy when they meet up later on. And I'll explain that point when we get to it. But the photos was actually was smarter than I give the show credit for at the time when I first watched it. Anyway, so Shirley's going to Narita. She goes to the monument, and then she unfortunately has to run to Mao. And then we get into, well, you know what happens there. Before they have their conversation, though, we had this little part of the story which I really liked, and one of my complaints about this episode is that they don't ever follow up with this conversation again. It kind of just happened, and then that was it. Where Ogi's thinking, okay, the Katsuse didn't kill himself. That's not what actually happened here. Because he didn't understand like why he would have done that. And then all of a sudden, D-Tard's like, you're right. It wasn't, was it? And that's it. We don't hear more of it. I wanted this to go further. I would have liked it if they had spent more time with Ogi and D-Tard talking about what happened to General Katsuse, because they never follow up with this. I know later on in turn 19, they kind of bring up that they might have been discussing about it after this point, but this was a great back and forth conversation, and they kind of have to sideline it to discuss the situation with Shirley, which I also thought was good, but this banter in the Black Knights, these small segments they're gems in the story, but we don't get enough of them. And this one will be good too, because if they had gone further, we might have got everyone's perspective, because, I mean, Ogi basically implies that Katsuse didn't kill himself. D-Tard's like, I agree. And that's just how it ends. I would love to see Colin defend Zero or Tamaki. They kind of did, and they kind of didn't. I wanted more. So, not the greatest. A good idea, but they needed more time with that. Then C2 and Lelouch are going to Narita. C2 is wearing the most ridiculous outfit in the whole series. And basically they talk about Shirley, and this is the first part where she asks Lelouch, do you love Shirley? And he's like, I don't know. Do you hate her? I don't know. So Pierre asks, did you like Lelouch? Did he love Shirley or not? The answer is he just, maybe he did at one point, but it was never really confirmed in the story. In this part too, she tells him that, you should keep it at a distance. And he's like, is that from personal experience? And she goes, no, it's just a way of life. it's personal experience. Let's be honest. Her whole life. I mean, everyone's betrayed her, so I think keeping a distance is most likely a personal thing. All right, then Shirley meets up with Mao, and it's one of the most awful parts of the story because awful not writing wise, but just like what happens to her. Mao basically implies he could read her mind. It was a good way to kind of like foreshadow his abilities. Although Lelouch speculated that he might have what's the word? He might have been a knight to poor Yokozuka when found the body, but he obviously wasn't. He says he knows exactly what happened, and we actually get to see the scene play out where Viletta's talking to Shirley. She's like, "Oh, he's still alive. Like, a real royalty when she delivers the body." She mentions execution, which freaks out Shirley, and then she shoots Viletta. Obviously, she's not the best shot ever, so she didn't shoot him. She didn't shoot her in a way that would kill her, like in a location. And we'll see that later on, which is important. And so Miles like, "Oh, you killed once before, and you took advantage of your father's death to make Lelouch, kiss you. You're an evil person." And Shirley's, of course, he basically not brainwashed her, but he messed her up by saying, "Look, you did awful things. You should, you and Lelouch have to die." One of my critiques about this is that I'm not sure why Mao was even targeting Shirley to begin with, and Lelouch. I'm not sure what the reason was. He didn't know about C2, so I wasn't sure why he specifically targeted Shirley. Maybe he was bored. I missed something, but I wasn't sure why he specifically went after her. In any case, because he did, she had to. He was taking her phone. They go to the cable car, or what she did, she sets up for when Lelouch meets up later on. So then when Lelouch arrives, now of course she's walking in Naruto, and what I do find interesting, and again, this is real nitpicky, but he's walking by the whole area where everyone died, which is and his work, by the way, and he doesn't really seem to care too much about it. Now, I'm not saying like he should like stop and mourn, but he just kind of like goes through it like it was an average stroll, like yeah, whatever, Those people are looking for the people that I killed, It's not necessarily a bad part of his character. I'm just kind of confused why he didn't even seem to care too much about it, considering this killed Shirley's father and so many other people. Anyway, it's a minor thing I noticed. Anyhow, he gets a call from Shirley's phone, which, by the way, looked like a Digivice. I was like, wait, is that a Digivice or is that a phone? It's kind of funny. Anyhow, so he picks up. He thinks it's Shirley because it's Shirley's phone. And, of course, Mao picks up and they talk. Briefly, he has to follow him. Then, meantime, C2 wants the guy's motorcycle, I think. And she was going to give him some kind of, I don't know, she's going to paint him something. And ultimately, it was a weird conversation, one of the weirdest ones in the whole show. But she sees Mao, and she's like, "Uh-oh, that's not good." Now they're battling out, and what I like about this scene is one of the best in the story. But when Lucius talking to Mao, or not talking about, but he was thinking about Mao, he came to the conclusion that Mao was winging this. He didn't know his real face, so he had to call him to find out. And so Mao was like, "Oh, you mean you can find an opening? Should you focus on the game?" And of course, Mao did the classic. I've never played this game before, right? I used to fall for it all the time when I was growing up. People used to play these games with me, whatever it was, Yu-Gi-Oh, chess, and they always say, I never played this game before, right? I'm like, "Oh, you've played this game plenty of time. That is such crap." When people, if they ever tell you I've never played this game before, don't play against them. You're going to lose, especially if they want your money. So that's like a little thing to note about life. Anyhow, they're playing, and Lelouch is obviously losing because he can read his mind, which is unfortunate for Lelouch. C2 got the motorcycle anyways. I guess she beat up the guy for it. Never explained how she got that. When they get to the end, and I like the part too, when they actually pull up with the cable car, Miles says, "I have you trapped," and it's a metaphor or a double entendre. Either way you look at it, because now that he trapped him in the chess game, but he trapped him by bringing up this location where Shirley was waiting for them. It's a good double entendre there. Then when he gets out, he sees Shirley. And, actually, before I even mention that, Lelouch figures out that Mao was a mind reader, and he got a Geass power from C2 because C2 never mentioned me, and Lelouch came to the conclusion that he must have been a previous contract. And we'll get to some oddities with that as well, but that's what happened there. So then when he gets out, then he sees Shirley with the gun. Before they have their encounter, Ogi finds Viletta. And I'm sure you guys know the whole controversy about this scene because Viletta has memory issues, but no one knows where that came from. Although there are some scratches on her face, so I assume she smacked her head against the pipes, or it could have been blood loss. That might be a video down I'll discuss in the future. But anyways, he finds her body, and that of course starts their awesome relationship, which we'll get to next episode. So Shirley's saying, "Look, we have to die. We have to atone for our sins." And then Lucia's like, "Wait, what?" Because she knows he killed her father. And then he says, "Oh, wait, did Mao put this up to you?" And Mao's like, "No, I mean, it's all her. Also, by the way, if she doesn't kill you, I'll kill you." As if the scene wasn't already tense enough. And eventually he figures out, oh, okay, so Mao is, reading people's minds and confusing them. And he's like, "Yep, you got it," which was kind of obvious, but again, Lelouch had to, I guess, come to that conclusion. And then, so then eventually he's trying to talk Shirley out of this, but the issue is that she's just really confused because she likes Lelouch, but she also hates the fact he killed her father, and there's a constant back and forth, and eventually her mind becomes like a jumbled mess, and Mao can't even really read it. He's actually really confused. I think this is the only person in the entire story where Mao couldn't read their mind because it was like a complete mess. Shirley, for some reason, had like this knack in the story where Geass abilities just don't work on her the way they work on other people. Even Lelouch's power wasn't completely absolute when it came to erasing her memories. And in this scene here, Mao couldn't even read her mind properly. Eventually, it gets to the point where she tells she was going to not shoot Lelouch, but then Mao was, and then she fired at Mao before he had a chance to shoot Lelouch. And she said, "I want to stop this." So he stops it, and then he goes back into the train car to get a better gun. Before that, though, I mentioned this, yeah. So Lelouch fell over because she did try to shoot him once, but she missed. And when he falls over, all the photos that she took of him, which, by the way, a little stalkerish, like this one here, for example, there's 2 photos of him laying on the ground. I assume Shirley took photos of that, and with Lelouch not knowing. All these poses may question otherwise. So Shirley was low-key stalking Lelouch. I guess no one ever talks about that. I mean, he's sleeping here, and she took a photo of him. That's kind of creepy. Anyhow, the photo was a good ploy on, or I guess a good ploy or plan of Lelouch, because I guess his thought was, and this is just me kind of like putting pieces together. If Shirley has his gun, which he speculated that she did, and if she was going to necessarily shoot him. Sorry, I got a phone call, my bad. What was I saying? So if Lelouch knows that Shirley has his gun and that she's upset at the fact that he killed her father, when he encounters her, she might be willing to use it again, considering there was blood on the floor, which means Shirley must have shot someone already. So putting it all together, he had to find a way to calm her down. And obviously, if talking didn't work, he could show her photos to remind her as well of the fact they were together, the student council, all that stuff to calm her down. That's why I assume he brought the photos, because that's what happened here. It kind of confused her, which I guess was good enough. Anyways, she shoots at Mao, like I said before, and Mao's like, "Okay, Cassera, stop." He goes back into the train car. He tries to get a better gun. And then, unfortunately for Mao, the train car closes and he goes down. He goes down and he doesn't get a chance to accomplish the goals. He sees C2 though, and the whole thing with C2 and Mao is really creepy. We'll get into that in 15, but yeah, that's how that ends there. And then Lelouch uses Geass on C2 on Shirley because she was again very sporadic, and he was like, "Well, you gotta forget everything." She's like, "How can I? I want you to love me. I shot you." And then Lelouch is like, "Look, he didn't know what to do exactly, so he figured erasing her memories was the best solution," which honestly probably was. I mean, he could command her to do other stuff, and I've gone back and forth a bunch of times what was the best command in this situation. I personally think erasing memories was definitely up there, because if she forgets about his existence, she won't get involved with his life anymore. She won't even. I mean, the reason why this happened in the first place was because they suspected Lelouch could be Zero, and they were friends. So I assume that's what kind of triggered Viletta to even target her in the first place. Although that was a bad mistake on Viletta's part, because she didn't realize that Shirley had feelings for Lelouch. Although, again, she was kind of shaking in the car in the previous episode when she speculated, or when she told her that Lelouch could be 0. So again, Viletta kind of screwed up there. The point I'm trying to make is that Shirley couldn't handle the situation too well of Lelouch being the man she loves, but also wanted to kill her father. So the best way to solve the problem, I think, was to erase her memories. If she never gets involved with Lelouch again, then this will never occur, which was his strategy going forward. If you remember, he told from C2, we learned that you should keep the people you care about at distance. So I assume that's why he did that with Shirley. Although, let's be honest, it was a decent strategy. Ultimately, though, it didn't lead to anything productive. And he lost her anyways. Then we get to a scene where Lelouch is feeling bad about the whole situation. He talking to Shirley at the same place, the same monument, and then Shirley's saying, I'm not sure why I was here, and then Lelouch is saying, I lost someone important to me, the smile that could save me from darkness, and she said, oh, you must love her, and he said, I don't know. Again, he can't confirm anything, but to be fair, love is a very difficult thing to confirm. I would say at least have feelings for. So that's kind of 14 in a nutshell. There's not much action in it. It's a very emotional drama situation where Lelouch is trying to figure out, who saw the identity of poor Yokozuka and how he's going to handle it. Dealing with Mao, who is a mind reader, and Lelouch, I think, handles the situation fairly well, all things considering. So that's 14 in a nutshell. I want to see if any more notes that I took. Let's see. Oh, here's a good part. So early on in the episode, let me get back to the beginning here. Actually, maybe I could just do this, so I don't have to make you guys go through the whole thing. So when they're in the right after, you remember the part when they're in the base talking, and Dieter discussing with Ogi about what happened. Well, before that occurs, there's a conversation that happens about the whole situation, and right here. And they're all saying, and I love this part, it's one thing you got to pay attention to. They all said that Tamaki was wiped out in the first couple of minutes of Narita. Poor Yokozuka. They said he lost immediately. They're all ripping on Tamaki, which makes you wonder again, why is he allowed in this organization when everyone knows he sucks? So I I thought it was funny. I go, yeah, Tamaki was out in the first 5 minutes. Why even send the guy out there? What a waste of ammunition, nightmare frame, and everyone's time, honestly. I wonder how many nightmare frames, there's some kind of stat that only they would know. How many nightmare frames did Tamaki destroy over the course of the series? It must have been 30. The guy was awful. I think he trashed more than Lelouch, which is pretty impressive. Okay, let's see. Going further, I think that's all I had from the notes wise. Let's see. Should I know the Geass? Yeah, there's something else too. This is more of a question I guess I have about the story. So when Lelouch is talking to Shirley at the very end, and again, I'll just pull the image up here before he erases her memories. What I found kind of odd, and maybe I missed something, but when they're talking, he says he's going to make it all go away, and then she says, no, don't. And the reason why I find that to be odd is because did she know what Geass was? My conclusion was no, but then when Mao talks to Allah, he says, want to use your Geass on her. I don't think you have yet. So I was like, wait, did he tell Shirley about Geass? But he didn't know that Lelouch had Geass. He hadn't read his mind yet to learn about Geass because he said in the train car, I know all your rules. So he must have found out then. So how did she know about Geass? Did she know about Geass? They never explained that. And in the story, she gets killed off so early on in the next season that it doesn't matter anyway if she knew or didn't know. But it's one thing. Are like, wait, why'd she say no? Don't? Did she even know what he was going to do? It's kind of weird. I guess maybe the show explained it, but I never quite figured out quite myself when I was watching that. Okay. This is really important. This is the most important part of the episode. Well, not the most important thing, but this is the part where I legitimately didn't discuss this. This is a mistake on my part. I didn't discuss this in the Lelouch relationship video with Shirley or the one in my big one where I said, does Lelouch love Shirley, C2, or Colin? Okay? This is very important stuff right here. At the very end of the episode of stage 14, I'm going to get you the exact quote of what Lelouch says. I for some reason, I had never read this before, but it's kind of damning when you read what he says, when you listen to what he says here, okay? Here we go. Maybe I was too soft. Maybe I would have been better off to just kill Shirley. But Geass, the power of the king will condemn me to a life of solitude, so I need to harden my heart even more. Then it's me and Mao, payback. Lelouch basically admits he should have killed Shirley. Now, I don't know if this was a typo in the... Sorry, I keep getting caller. I don't know if it was a typo in the story, but he basically said he should have killed Shirley. And I don't know how you can justify him loving or caring about Shirley in that way if he was actually going to kill her. And he even said, maybe I'm too soft for not having killed her. I don't know how... it's pretty weird to me that they put that in the story. I haven't watched the story sub yet, so I have no idea if that's how it was in the sub. But Lelouch literally speculated on killing Shirley and said he probably should have. You do what you want with that information, but I do find that odd that for someone who people claim really loved Shirley, he even speculated killing her, which he never considered for C2 or Colin. Granted, he can't kill C2, but you get the point. I apologize. I have to do one quick thing. I keep getting called for something. I gotta let them know what's going on. So I need to I got me on mic for 2 seconds to handle one quick thing. I do apologize. Okay, we should be good now. I took care of. Hopefully things are good. I might have to stop it again. We'll see what happens. Okay, so that's the thing with Shirley. I thought that was kind of odd that Lelouch again speculated on killing her. Other than that, the episode is really good, very dramatic. It's one of the more dramatic scenes or episodes in the series that involved no one died even, but just the ramifications of someone seeing Lelouch's face, and more importantly, how he deals with Shirley and Mao was very dramatic, and the ultimate consequence of this will pretty much reflect the entire series. So not a lot happened theoretically, in the grand scheme. I guess like people wise, but the effects will last the entire series. So I gave it 8 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good episode. Okay, I'll go through quick comments and we'll go on to the next one. The end of the episode more or less confirmed Lelouch had feelings for Shirley, I guess. But again, I wouldn't say, like, we don't know what kind of feelings because, again, he contemplated killing her. Okay, sorry, one more second. All right, this is totally unprofessional. I never do this ever on stream, so I do apologize. I don't like doing this. No, I will call you. Okay. Yeah, ignore the yes. Okay, it'll be around, I don't know, we'll say, I don't know, around 10, 11 o'clock. 10, 11 o'clock. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so what I was saying about like Shirley's feelings with Lelouch, right? So the thing is with that is that yes, he said that he didn't know how he felt about her. But he also said that her smile was very meaningful and they had a lot of laughs together. As friends, right? You could say that about a friend too. That's the problem with the whole feelings. He never confirms it. He's always in denial or doubt about it. So it's hard to say exactly what he felt. Some argue it is, some argue it didn't. There isn't any. I think both at this point. You could go either way. Although, again, you don't kill people you love. Apparently, Rivalz said he wanted to meet Yuffie because he wants to marry royalty and be rich. I like Rivalz. Yuffie is completely out of her league. Yeah. I mean, if he can't get Millie, he can't get Euphemia. Tend to be the world's biggest clapper. Yeah, Mao is the world's biggest clapper. He does it in the game too because, reasons. I remember when Mao first confronted Shirley, I thought Mao was Llyod. I was like, oh wow, Lloyd's getting more screen time. He's a villain now. Yeah, it must be the hair color. The eye color is different and the heights are different. Outfit's different too. It was probably the hair color. Tamaki said something weird, the detail, a fool like you should respect your superiors. And I'm like, Tamaki, you're not special. Or Zero said, so shut up, please. Pretty much, yeah. The guy who voices him on the dub does a great job. He also has a very good, energetic performance. Yeah, he did. He was crazy. He had to play a psycho. He played a good psycho. Lelouch spent a good portion of the show antagonizing against Suzaku, even though they were besties, so I could see him loving Shirley despite saying he'd get rid of her. I don't know. It's a little different because when Lelouch didn't want to kill Suzaku, like when he actually knew he was the pilot Lancelot, like in turn 18, he wanted to kill him. There was no, the friendship was dead because he felt betrayed. Earlier on, he didn't know it was Suzaku. Once he knew he was the pilot of the Lancelot, he didn't want to kill him anymore. But before that, he did. So it's a little different. Okay, last check, I hope, and then I won't stop looking at my phone. Okay. All right, we're good with that. Yeah, if you think about the whole story, he always told Colin to kill Suzaku. Like, hey, take out the White Knight. It's been, the White Knight refrain. It's in our way the longest time. But once he found out Suzaku was the pilot, things kind of shifted differently in terms of his perspective on how to deal with Suzaku. I can't recall any time in the second series where Lelouch wanted to kill Suzaku besides turn 18. Because by that point, he was betrayed by him. He felt betrayed. I could be wrong. If you have a different, if you remember a different time, let me know. But as far as I remember, Lelouch only killed Suzaku. Lelouch only wanted to kill Suzaku early on, where he didn't know his identity, and later on after he betrayed him. I don't recall anything in between. With Shirley, he wanted to kill her. I'm like, it's a little different. They're also not enemies. He just wanted to kill her to get rid of her, like as a problem in his life, which is a little. I don't think those are comparable situations, but I do see the point you're making. Logically speaking, killing her would have been the best way to go about it, but his feelings got in the way, whether it was for love, friendship, or anything else. Also, I think her saying no, you couldn't, made this a reaction to the possibility because of the state she was in. Yeah, possibly. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, it was a logical thing to do to kill her, but that's the point. He was. Which, by the way, I don't think it was the most logical thing to do to kill Shirley. Again, that's a whole other debate. But the point I'm making is that the fact that it crossed his mind, I think, is still like the wrong thing to do. I will say this much: if you have any family members, loved ones, whatever, good friends, most people would say, kill me, not them. Usually, you never hear this one, right? This phrase, a famous George Carlin joke. You never hear this one. Do what you want to the girl, just leave me out of it. You never hear people say that because often they'll say, look, take me instead, right? So the fact that Lelouch had the opposite approach, which is like, you know what? I'm just going to kill her and get rid of her. Problem solved. Clean my hands. That's how I know that's why it's a problem to me. Because logically speaking, killing any loose ends is the right way to go. But Lelouch wouldn't think that, like, I'll give you an example, right? If he kills Nunnally, now I know, killing Llyod would make no sense because that's like against everything he's working towards, right? But killing her theoretically would fix all of his problems in a nutshell. But if he was thinking logically, because if Nunnally wasn't on his life anymore, he could pretty much be free and do what he wants and not have to devote his whole life to helping her out. But that's a whole nother debate. The point I'm trying to make is that he never once contemplated that killing Nelly could solve his problem. He never once thought about it. Because doing that, because he loves her that much. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Anyone he really cared about, he hasn't thought about killing. The only example, the only exception besides Shirley was Euphemia. In that case, he literally had no other option. And it pained him terribly to do it. But other than that, he doesn't think about killing other people in the way he thought about Shirley. Maybe other epilogues will, monologues at the end of the episodes will indicate otherwise. But I just think this whole part was just so weird. I know I'm like spending a lot of time on this, but I really can't get over the fact that he was considering to kill Shirley. It's really bizarre. I'm not sure why they put that in there. Logically, yes, but Lelouch doesn't always act on logic. I think Lelouch tried to kill Suzaku in stage 25 at the end, since R2 revealed he shot off his earpiece, nearly killing him. Yeah, I guess so. But at that point, it's because Suzaku was threatening him. Yeah, that's a good point. So he was going to take Natalie away from him too. That's why he got upset. Also, I think he was going to arrest him as well. But beyond that, though, and again, that was betraying him, right? Anytime the betrayal is when Lelouch wanted to kill Suzaku. But beyond that, he didn't really want to kill him. And even then, we don't know if Lelouch was actually shoot Suzaku to kill him or wound him, or. But again, he had the liquid Sakuradite, so I guess you got a point there. But generally speaking, he doesn't want to kill Suzaku. There are rare exceptions. That's a good point. But yeah, that's stage 4 in a nutshell. A lot happened, and a very emotional roller coaster, and all the effects we'll see later on as the story progresses. Okay, let's move on to stage 15. Damn. Okay. Stage 15 is, stage 15 is a controversial episode, just like 14, where people had a lot of questions about how, like, the whole cable car thing was a lot of controversy. I'm not going to discuss in this video. I might do it in another one, like a one and done discussion about it. If people want it, my take on it. Even I didn't see anything wrong with it when I first watched it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was the video from DX. He discussed one of the problems with Code Geass was that scene in the cable car, which again I didn't see any issues with it, but that's a whole nother discussion. Anyhow, they're in the car going back from Narita, and Lelouch and C2 are talking about Mao's abilities. He learns that his Geass ability can go like 500 yards, or meters rather, and he also explains that Geass power was given to him 11 years ago. And there's more to it than that, but that's like the first part of this. Lelouch states that, I figured Arbu had Geass abilities, which is interesting to me because if he figured that, you'd think he would be, I don't know, he seemed a little surprised when he saw Mao, but I guess apparently he was, I guess apparently he had prepared for, I guess apparently he figured that was the case, so he wasn't too surprised, although he seemed surprised when Mao used Geass, or revealed his Geass to him. They're talking back and forth about Mao and the whole situation with that. And she revealed his one weakness, that he can't turn off his Geass power. But he can use it as much as he wants. He can go your deepest soul and go all your information. Which is interesting to me because, you'll see later on, there's a part of the story that didn't really resolve. A plot point that wasn't resolved, rather. And of course, this little hat, which is... Komet made fun of it, and I'll give him credit. It was kind of silly. Then for some reason, Mao goes to a library, which was bizarre to me. Like, if hearing people's voices bothers you, why in God's green earth would you go to a library? That's the worst place. I would go to an abandoned warehouse, an amusement park, which he goes to later on, or like anywhere else. Why would you go to a library? But then he plays like this sound from C2 talking to him, which calms him down. And also it's kind of weird. Like, Mao is obviously insane. Like, his Geass power is overpowering. But Mao lost his mind years ago, which is kind of unfortunate. That's why you're seeing a crazy lunatic, because literally, C2 left him, and then he has the ability to rebuild his minds. It never goes off, and you see the results of it. So Lelouch stays indoors. He's going to check on, because he figured since Mao read his mind, he knows about Nully, he knows about the Black Knights, he knows everything. So he figures, I'll just keep an eye on Not only with all the cameras, so if he comes in, we'll find him. He also has the Black Knights looking after Mao too, and no one like questions it, like why he's looking after him, which is weird because usually the Black Knights question everything he does, but no one asks, "Hey, why are we going after some random Asian man?" And I guess no one seemed to care. I love this scene. I don't know why it just kind of made me laugh. Like she's literally staring at the camera. It makes you wonder. Like I don't know. It's just a funny scene. She's aware he's watching her, and then Cheese Coon's on the bed. Mao buys a chainsaw here, and he talks to this guy about how he sold weapons to the Black Knights, and he basically gets what he wants. Then we get this conversation, which is one of the most important in the whole series, because Lelouch and C2 go back and forth about Geass abilities. The main takeaway here was that C2 gave powers to people knowing that it would eventually take them over if they couldn't control it, which, and I was thinking about this the other day, has anyone ever controlled Geass when it got to the two-eye formation? You know, the two eyes. And if you look at the people who have, just going back in history, you have Lelouch at one point, and he couldn't control it. Mao couldn't control it. Shin couldn't control it. So the only other person who did control Geass with the two eyes filled and fully evolved was Charles. As far as I know, he's the only person to have controlled the Geass with two eyes. Maybe Dash as well. But that's another couple. No, that's not true because Dash put his Atelier into a coma. So no, it's just Charles. I don't think anyone else ever fully evolved their Geass and controlled it. He could though. Charles was a really powerful individual. But anyways, back to the conversation they're talking about Geass and the contracts, and Lelouch basically calls her a monster because she gives people abilities knowing that they probably won't control it and ultimately consume them for a contract which she never states. And doing this is kind of awful. And I have to admit, I agree with Lelouch here. What C2 does to these people is pretty bad. Like this is definitely not like I like C2's character a lot, but what Mao does to her was kind of justified. Not that he should hurt her or anything, but his rage against her was justified. The fact that she gave him Geass ability and then left him for some reason. Also, what's really weird about this scene, I've said this many times, the show never explains this ever, where Lelouch says you should have killed him or taken away his Geass power. And again, I wrote a note saying, like, wait, can immortals take away people's Geass abilities? Because we've never seen the story, but they have implied it, I guess. It's actually referenced later on in the story, too. Which again, they never followed up with it, because if C2 could take away Geass powers, then just take away Mao's power as it is now, unless you can't do that if it's fully evolved. I don't think that's the case. But again, they never said anything. And the last important part of this conversation is that, last important part is that Lelouch calls her a monster. And I mentioned in my C2 romance relation video with Lelouch that she always thought about this conversation throughout the rest of the story, where Lelouch said, you're a monster for giving people Geass contracts like this. Who would ever want a girl like you? So he's thinking, wow. Or she's thinking, yeah, I'm an awful person. So at the very end of the story, when she says, I ruined your life with Geass powers, and Lelouch said, no, it was my decision. It made her feel happy, because the whole time after this conversation, she felt that she was a monster. She was worthless, which everyone calls her anyway. I mean, that's her whole theme in a nutshell. Everyone thinks C2 is worthless in the story, and she gets killed all the time. That's why she was happy when Lelouch thanked her, because no one else does. Which again, given her situation, makes sense. And we also learned from the conversation that C2 said that Geass will consume you if it's not if you can't control it. Although she never states how you control Geass powers. I mean, you have to constantly use it to get it stronger, but use it too much and it overtakes your body. They never really explained how to control it. Just another little point there. Then, of course, Lelouch, she said, I'm going to go to student council, to the clubhouse room to, I guess, keep an eye on stuff. And Lelouch is like, well, what am I supposed to do about that? And she goes, that's your job. So Lelouch is pretty much upset right here, understandably. All these problems are nothing to do with him. It's all C2's fault. And yeah, being angry at her is very understandable, especially what happened to Shirley. Then Cecil takes Suzaku for a checkup because they had to check his mental awareness. Because remember before they were saying how he's like physically fine, but mentally he has an issue where he wants to constantly. Saving people's life is like an obsession for him, and that's important because they're foreshadowing a reason why he acts that way. So I like that little part. I think it was actually last episode, but they bring it up here too. She claims it's because they wanted it's a standard medical thing, but no, deep down they want to take care of this stuff because of, again, mentally Suzaku is not all there. Like he has clear problems. So they do that thing. Oh yeah, that's right. He learns that Llyod is an earl. He's like, wait, what? You're royalty? And of course they didn't know. Even he didn't know. I mean, like he knew, but yeah, that was a little nice reveal there. Then we get to a part of the story. This is just kind of like the Detard Reed and the not Tamaki, Ogi part, where Lelouch is talking to Millie about getting set up with somebody. And what's really depressing is this was actually a really good moment between the two characters, because prior to this they were discussing how people might be on his identity as the Prince of Britannia because only Ashfords know that they took Nunnally and Lelouch in. And what's really depressing, they were going back and forth in this conversation, and if there was any chance that Viletta, if Millie had a thing with Lelouch or thought about him, this would have been the best time to bring it up. But instead, what they do is Shirley comes in and interrupt the conversation. But if you look at Millie's face during this whole discussion, so she's saying, I want to they're setting me up with someone, I can't get out of it. What should I do? And Lelouch is like, I don't know. And then you see Millie's face, and like, as far as I know, she has never made this face to anyone else in a story. It's like I legitimately care what you have to say, and we're good friends. I'm vulnerable, and I'm like, Millie always either has like a really happy, carefree, which again is a mask. She doesn't really feel that way at all. Or she gets like, that one scene during the Charles speech where she was kind of pissed off. But here she's very attentive to what Lelouch has to say, and they don't follow up with anything. Instead, Shirley comes in and interrupts the whole conversation. And it was very depressing because, much like the Detard and the Ogi conversation, I want this to keep going. They should have had a longer conversation discussing this situation here, because if there was something going on between Millie and Lelouch, this was the scene to develop it, if there was anything. I don't think there was, but this was the moment to do it. And so they brought in Shirley in here. And don't get me wrong, like, it made sense to bring her into the situation because they have to reveal that she doesn't remember anything, and then therefore they're playing some kind of game and everyone's in on it. She thinks it's cute or something. I think it's really stupid, but that's what they're going with. And then ultimately she runs off, I think, to do swimming or something. It's just depressing because I really liked that conversation that Millie was having with Lelouch, and it doesn't go anywhere. Considering their past, it could have been a better moment, but that's what we got from it, I guess. Then we see C2 showing her martial arts skills by holding down this guy. This would have been a badass moment, by the way, to show in the Jezari code as like an alternative thing instead of, what was it, her sitting on the bed with her butt hanging out. But whatever, we got a fan service over quality. Anyhow, that little rant is over. C2 pins the guy down, trying to find Mao, and of course he said, "Look, try the Black Knights." He says something interesting too, which was, what was it? Yeah, only the gangs are using Chinese labor. And I was like, what is he talking about? Because he was like looking for a Chinese man, and he said the only Chinese people are in gang laborers or something. I was like, what the heck is that about? But yeah, she's pretty athletic too. Not only is she martial arts skilled, but she's very flexible. Again, must have came from the years of experience. She can't find her diary because Lelouch burns it up. Even though he used Geass on her, I guess he was afraid that if anything could possibly link them together, it could bring her memories back, which I don't think is how that works. But to be safe, he removes it anyways. Then they're back in the station, and Naomi's looking for Mao. Tamaki, the man who never shuts up, honestly says nothing here about this whole situation, which is surprising because you think he would have said, hey, why are we doing this? He always questions everything. That's his job. But he says nothing, so I find it to be interesting. C2 and Lelouch meet up again, and she's saying we should work together on this. And Lelouch is like, yeah, I don't want to, but they ultimately decide to. And then he gets a call from Mao, which he gives C2 the phone. Oh, by the way, this outfit of C2 is one of my favorites in the whole story. Now, for YouTube purposes, I removed the one image. You know which one I'm talking about, where Viletta, you see her assets, if you will. She gets up after Ogi took care of her, and we see her basically nude. He explains, I couldn't dress you with my eyes closed. And so, we see her basically naked. Now, what's interesting about this scene, I mentioned it in a long stream, many streams ago, but besides the fan service, which is the main reason I guess they had her naked here, it also shows you where she was actually shot by Shirley. And the reason why that's important is because people have made claims about, well, one person, but I'm sure he's not alone. People made claims about how she lost her memories through a shot in the stomach, but she wasn't shot in the stomach. You can see the bandage here in her arm. She was shot in the arm. I can't show you the image, for obvious reasons, but there's like a little bandage on her belly. I think it's over here. But that's it, though. The whole purpose of showing her nude wasn't just because, again, fan service, but also you can see where she actually was injured when Shirley shot her, which helps you understand what the injury was and why she could have survived it, even though I personally believe she should have died anyways because she had so much blood loss. But that's a whole nother video for another time. I'm just trying to say that her boobs were actually plot relevant. And I kind of wish for Mao they showed him shirtless. Not because I want to see that, but I was curious where he was actually shot by the police, which we'll get to later on. But yeah, Viletta's, this whole nude scene was both fan servicey, but also very plot relevant because it is important to know where she actually was shot by Shirley. It matters for how she could have survived. Anywho, Viletta's happy that someone nice actually found her. And what is at least somewhat accurate with this scene here is that when people do have memory loss, or they also have personality changes too, because Viletta goes from I hate these terms, but a strong, independent woman who is career focused, is a badass, can kill you with a gun, also nightmare frame, to a more housewife, very pretty, very feminine, and likes to cook. So obviously she not only lost memories, but she had a personality swap because of the trauma, which that is common. So I definitely like that part of that part of the story there. Anywho, C2 gets a call from Mao, and she leaves Lelouch to go deal with that. And she tells him, here, you can keep your gas power, which again, I'm trying to understand, like, if you tell someone you can keep their gas power, it means you can take it away. But yet, she never does that to anyone in the story. That would have solved, like, all their problems. And she says, we were never friends. We're just co-conspirators. We know, actually, the reason why she left Lelouch was because she was threatened by Mao that he would reveal Lelouch's identity. So that's why she actually left. She was protecting him, which was nice. Even though he said mean things to her. But granted, he wasn't entirely wrong. Also, he tried to use Geass on C2, which she said before doesn't work on him, on her. But yeah, that's how that scene went down. Then we get the doctor's appointment where literally everyone in this show is like besides Nina, and I think maybe one other character. Every female character is like I don't know, like a 10 out of 10. Like this is a random doctor who's helping Suzaku, and they made her extremely attractive for no reason. I like how Cecil is here too with him, I guess as a guardian because he's 17 at the time, which is kind of weird because she has a thing for him. But that's a whole other I guess topic of discussion. But she's there taking care of him, which is nice because she really cares. You wouldn't see Llyod with Suzaku at a doctor's appointment. That'd be kind of funny though. And she says that you're having a situation where you're trying to like your father, and there's a lot of guilt behind that. And she also said too that he was a great man. So this one was Japanese. I wasn't sure her lineage, but this one was Japanese, and she was trying to explain Suzaku with some kind of mental issues, which again would make sense given all that happened. Then we see Todo, Chiba, and Asahina at Genbu's grave. They met up for some reason. We never find out what the meeting was for, and he gets captured. We find out later on what happened there, but he gets captured, and he protected these two, Chiba and Asahina. I guess Urabe and Senba were busy doing something else, or they hadn't arrived yet. Either way. Anyways, back in the clubhouse, Lelouch is talking to Dieter Reed, who happens to be at some karaoke place, and he gives the new cell structure for the Black Knights, which comes into play in the next episode. So I like the continuity with that. And Lelouch is like, why is he doing this? Is he a spy? But he did like his plans. He revised a little bit of it for how he wants the cell block structure to work for the Black Knights, which I thought was a good idea because they said later on the way they structured it was people in the lower levels don't know much information, so if they're captured, they can't reveal anything because literally the information is blocked by the higher level. So I thought it was a good strategy to have a big organization, but avoid leaks of information or other stuff by capture. So that was a good plan. Continuing on though, C2 is at Clovis Land, which was announced in stage. What episode was it? Picture drama stage 9, 8. I don't remember. It's one of those. It's one where I think it was 6, where Cornelia is nude, or basically nude, because Clovis was a pervert. He was a murderer and a pervert. That's how it. That's his 2 episode. Here lies Clovis was a law of Britannia. He was a pervert and a murderer. Beloved painter, though. He had many talents. Anyways, C2's at the amusement park. This image of her is actually really well done. It's one of my favorite. I think of the entire story, it's one of my favorite just stills of her face. It's just so good. I don't know what it is, the golden eyes, the green hair, and the weird hat, which it all just works. We see Mao, he's clearly insane. He thinks he's a child, which C2 says, more child antics. And while he's hiding, by the way, Lucius is preparing his counterattack, which we'll get to in a second. And then he has a recording of her talking to him. And here's the part where I get a little... This is a weird part of the story. So Mao knew C2 when he was a little kid, 6 years old, and she was taking care of him all that time, alone, by the way, because she has a Geass power that can read people's minds. So not only was he isolated, but C2 was as well, and he knew her. She knew him since he was a kid, but now they're in love with each other. That's kind of creepy. I know that C2 is immortal, and so age has no real meaning to her compared to a normal person, but it is creepy in any sense when you raise a kid and then you fall in love with that kid. That's really messed up. This whole situation to me, it's very creepy, especially when she even says at one point, "I did love you, Mao, but I not anymore." I'm like, wait, you did? I'm like, oh, not too great. Now with Mao, I don't think he really loves C2. I think it was more of like because no one else could not read his mind. He had no one else to go to, and he was completely dependent on C2 like a mother. If anything, I think he loved her like a mother, not like a lover. But then again, when Lelouch talks about C2 in front of Mao about the relationship in the bedroom, he gets really upset. So this episode is just it brings up really uncomfortable territory. And look, that's fine. That's good writing when you can make the audience think in a certain way. But it does make me question C2 a little bit that she even pushed it this far. And yeah, I don't want to know what was going on in those years when they were living together. I'm sure it wasn't great. Anyway, Lelouch is traveling on his way to Clovis Land. Then he goes to a part of it to upload the little video he made. He, of course, traveled to take the video of himself from Tokyo Tower. And given the fact that Tokyo is really small, it makes sense he could travel around pretty quickly on the trains. So I didn't have an issue with that. Again, there's a complaint about that as well. One day we'll go over that stuff. He's angry at C2 because she's unpredictable. Also, because I think he left her. She left him too, right? That probably pissed him off. Anyways, Mao shoots C2 multiple times because he's angry. She's lying. And yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's one of those brutal scenes in Code Geass. He shoots her multiple times. And the way they cut the shot reaction shot, you feel every single bullet, man. It's a brutal scene. Then Mao mentions Australia. I think he's the first character to mention Australia in the entire anime, and maybe it's the last time too. And he was going to cut C2 up with a chainsaw, which is appropriate because this is a Halloween episode, and today's Halloween rather. And what it was a scary moment when he's going to cut her up with a chainsaw. Ah, yes. When you're completely insane and you want to take your waifu home with you, but you can't fit her on the train, so you cut her the plane, so you cut her up. Although if Mao was smart, couldn't he have read this is real nitpicky, but if there was, if he wanted to take C2 on a flight with him, and there was no room, couldn't he have just used his ability to read minds to, I don't know, go to a banker or a rich person, get the codes to their accounts and steal their money, and then buy a better personal jet and take C2 on the personal jet? If I had the ability to read minds, now granted I don't, and thank God I don't, because you can't turn it off. Unless I'm Martian Manhunter, then I can't turn it off. But if I could do that, I would just read the minds of the richest people in the world, find out their bank account numbers, and take their money. But don't take all their money because they'll figure that out. But take enough of it where you can, you'll be fine. Like think of Bezos, right? What's he worth? 200 billion. If you took 11 million from him, he might notice it, but he might not. So Mao could have done the same thing. He could have just taken money from people, even multiple people, and bought a personal jet and brought C2 on the jet to go to Australia. But I guess Mao isn't that. But then again, Mao isn't a calculated person. If you remember on the cable car, he did say Lelouch said he was winging it. So Mao isn't that smart. But if he was, though, he could have actually got a personal jet and took C2 on the jet and wouldn't have to cut her up. But he was crazy. Who the hell knows what's going on in this guy's head? Anyway, C2 is all bloodied up, and he's like, "Are you doing this because of punishment?" And he's like, "No, I'm not doing it to punish you. I need to take you home with me." And then we get to the epic scene where Lelouch predicted Mao's responses, which he never did. If you watch this scene from beginning to end, nothing Lelouch said had anything to do with what Mao was talking about. He literally just talked about C2 for the last, I think it was a 10-minute conversation. All he said was, thinks of Mao. C2 never told her real name, did she? But I know it. And not only do I know it, but I know everything about C2. I also got all the parts of her that you'll never have. AKA the bedroom fun. So he basically talked with C2 the whole time. He ignored everything Mao said because Mao was talking to him like, wait, how do you know that? Her name? You're lying, or this and that. And Lelouch just keeps going on and on. And I like how there's a pause when he's talking during the broadcast. And Mao thought he was just kind of, cat got your tongue. But really, Lelouch he recorded gaps in the conversation just to give buffer time for the cops to come. That's all it was. If you really watch this conversation, Lelouch the entire time did not predict any of Mao's responses, but his reactions. He knows if he brings up C2 in a sexual way, he'll get really upset, which is what occurred. His only goal here was to delay Mao and make sure he focused on the video, so when the cops come, he wouldn't be ready. But this is his response when Lelouch said that he got access to all the parts of C2, including the ones you'll never have. So I find that funny that Mao's like, what? So again, the relationship went from C2 and Mao. It went from mother, son, to groomed lover. Kind of creepy. He destroys the Titantron, the monitor, and then the cops come. We get to the scene, which I already made a video about this. I'm not going to go too further into it, where the cops come to shoot Mao, and originally they weren't going to, but because Mao wouldn't put the weapon down and they wanted to subdue him, they shot him to get him to stop, basically, which is standard police procedure. And I mentioned how they shot him in the midsection, the chest area, so he would go down instantly. And that's what happened here. So Mao wasn't really dead at this point. When Lelouch commanded the cops to either shoot Mao or subdue Mao, or I think the Wikipedia said, get the cops to approach Mao. If he doesn't put his weapon down, then shoot him or something. The point is, Lelouch made the cops act based on their training, and that's why they ultimately didn't kill Mao and just subdued him. Now, one thing, I wrote this down as a note, and they never really discussed it ever again, but Mao said the following: I'm going to read your mind to learn what C2's real name is. And he never does. He doesn't do it here, and he doesn't do it later on in the story. But he was really pissed off that Lelouch knew C2's name, but he never went into Lelouch's mind to learn what her name was. It's one of those parts of the story where I'm like, why did you bring it up but not follow up on it? That's why it's so hard to write a mind reader character, because you have to understand every single moment of the story, the person's reading everyone's mind. So you can't really have secrets or stuff like this happening in the story and make sense and have it make sense. So that's the problem with Mao's character. It's not really him. It's the way he was written. You can't, unless you could turn the mind off and off, or on and off, or in case of like X-Men where, what is it, Magneto has a helmet that blocks Professor X from reading his mind, Charles Xavier. If you don't have like things like that in the story, it's hard to have a mind reader who can just read everyone's mind with like no checks in place. That's my problem with Mao's character in the story. Like he wants to do certain things and he'll act stupid, but he shouldn't, because he can read people's minds. It was I liked the character idea, but it didn't really work well in the story. I could do a whole video discussing why I think Mao was a great idea, but it was poorly handled. But that's a whole other discussion. Anyhow, so then this is kind of weird. Like when before they shoot Mao, C2 is like, I can reason with him. I'm like, honey, he tried to cut you with a chainsaw. Oh, and there's another thing too. Again, nitpicky here, but okay. Mao puts C2 in a suitcase, right, to get her on the plane. Her arms are going to regrow. What's the plan then? Are they going to smash through the briefcase and she'll fall out of the plane? Like, did Mao not consider the fact that she can heal like instantly? So if he puts her in a briefcase in pieces, she'll just recover her body. We'll literally be back to square one. Again, Mao's kind of stupid. I would have gone with a personal jet approach if it was me. Then we get on the helicopter pad, and the guy's like, I delivered the person the helicopter pad, and they said, you were supposed to bring her to the medical hospital. So that never happened. Although if she went there, she might have ran to Suzaku. Unless they went to do separate hospitals, but is what it is. Lelouch explains this. No, C2 says that, and this is the part I wanted to mention earlier. C2 says that Mao was 6 years old when I first made a contract with him. It's been 11 years since, by the way. And, they were together for the longest time. And Lelouch is like, listen, I won't be like Mao. My Geass won't develop to that point. I'll honor your contract. And she's like, are you pitting me? It's some kind of sick game, I guess? And he goes, it's a contract. And so she accepts it or something. Again, never explains how you can control the Geass from not evolving. But I want to circle back to this point here where... So C2 said that he was 6 years old, Mao, when she made the contract with him. And Lelouch said earlier on in this episode that Mao was his predecessor. Well, here's the interesting part, right? I did the math because I was curious. Mao was born apparently in the year 2000, 2001, according to the Wikipedia page. It's still kind of confusing because as far as I know, like, it doesn't make sense because the year is 2017, right? 11 years ago was 2006, I believe, and Mao was 6. So he was born 2000, not 2001. But that's not the interesting part. Layla was born in 1999. And she got her Geass ability when she was also 6, which was technically 2005. So, no, Mao was not Lelouch's predecessor. Layla was. And because they had to retcon that in Acute Exile, they don't mention here because obviously this came before that. But technically speaking, C2 gave Layla a Geass before Mao was even in the picture. I thought it was kind of interesting. It was a random thing I was looking into, but actually... Layla got the Geass first. Now, granted, she didn't accept the contract. They didn't travel together. But still, she came before Mao, if you were wondering. Which you probably weren't, because I'm kind of crazy. Okay. Those are all the points. Those are things that come to mind. I might have other things that I wrote down here. Let's see. Yeah, they don't say that. I'm not sure what I'm talking about. Let's see. I think that's everything I mentioned. Let's see. Yeah, I think I mentioned before. I think C2 again. Her getting shot was I don't think she deserved to get shot, but Mao treating her like crap was kind of a little bit of karma there because she did abandon him and didn't kill him or take away his Geass ability. So that was kind of deserved in my opinion. Also, this episode is one of the scariest in the story in terms of like a psychopath killing somebody. And as far as I know, it's the only episode that has like this element of like a pure horror. There is another episode too, in I think it's turn 13, when Jeremiah is going after Lelouch. That was kind of scary too because he was a cyborg and he can't be stopped, and he nearly killed Sayako and Rollo. So that was kind of scary too. But this is probably one of the only horror episodes in the entire series, which is again why I couldn't really do a Code Geass Halloween themed video. I tried my best with the Geass commands, and I guess you could have done maybe brutal deaths too, because there are some brutal deaths in the story. But yeah, that's the episode in a nutshell. It isn't my favorite by any means. I've already explained a couple of reasons why it's not my favorite. I give it kind of a 6 out of 10. Mostly the reason I don't like it is that I don't know. there were good parts they could have. I wish they'd spend more time on, and I don't know. The Hellsing Mao is kind of. It's not my favorite part of the story. I'll be honest with you. It's just not. Mao is an interesting character. They could done. It could have been a lot better. And there are some questionable things for sure. Not this scene, but other stuff like, I don't know. It's not my favorite episode. If I'm like a top 10 worst episodes, or I say worst as if there's like bad episodes in the story, but like episode I didn't like, this is probably on the list. It's just of the Mao trilogy, it's probably the worst one. It's important, obviously, but it's not my favorite. I hate it when they bring up Geass stuff and they don't explain it. And again, Mao's relationship with C2 is really creepy to me. If it was mother-son the whole time, it would have been better. But because it turned into lovers, that was like romantically loved. That was kind of creepy. I'm not a fan of. I don't care what the circumstances are. I'm not a fan of that type of writing. It's just really bizarre. I mean, you could argue maybe Lelouch and C2 are similar, but at least Lelouch meets her when he's 17, so she didn't raise him, for crying out loud. Although I have argued in the past that their relationship could have been like a mother and son type of thing. Although there's not a whole lot of evidence to suggest this, but you could say early on in the story when Lelouch was with C2, he had no mother growing up because, well, he did, but she died. So until then, he kind of was on his own with Nunnally, and so he didn't really have a parent figure in his life. So C2 kind of filled that role early on. But again, that's a reach. Okay, this is not a reach. And there's D-Tard. Yeah, this was more of a setup episode, if we're being honest. Okay, anyways, let's look at the comments. Oh wow, there's like 9 of you in here. Thanks for guys showing up. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. I read those. Okay. Despite everything Mao did, he's a tragic figure. C2 unintentionally ruined his life. Unintentionally? No, intentionally. Okay, you give someone a Geass power, you're ruining their life. Especially when the contract is to kill C2, which is pretty awful considering that everyone seems to fall in love with her. Which is kind of funny because, her power is like originally wanted to make people fall in love with her. But no, I think intentionally, well, okay. I see what you're saying there. Like, she didn't want to ruin his life initially, but it kind of happened that way. The only argument I have against that is she knows giving the contracts to people could ruin their lives. So it's like, that's not a clear-cut answer, a clear-cut statement. But I do see where you're coming from. Orpheus, I'm pretty sure he could control it. Did he fully involve the Geass? I love your Oz reflection, but unfortunately, they haven't translated yet. Will it ever come in Janissary code? Probably not. Maybe 2055 will have it made for it. Maybe Orpheus could. I'll look it up. Did he have a fully evolved Geass power? I know Toto had a Geass power too. I don't know if she fully controlled it either. But I do know for sure Charles could control it with no issues. If Illusion really had a thing, this episode should have been made, the conversation would go further. The only thing with this episode was probably the audio drama they first met. Yeah, but even then, that was more about like just the school and not only in her what's it called? In a situation where he had to go to that school and he was taking the place out for handicap capability and stuff for her. If I'm not mistaken, that was the audio drama's purpose. Which, by the way, I haven't discussed the audio dramas yet. I think next week because I'm only going to do 2 episodes, which will be 17 and 18, because 19 deserves its own special treatment. At least at this point. I haven't decided fully yet what I'm going to do. But if we have time, I want to go through the audio dramas as well, discuss my thoughts on them. Because they're actually really good, at least the R1 audio dramas. R2 audio dramas, meh. Really stupid stuff, which pissed me off because R2 needed explanations and we didn't get it. Ogi undressing Viletta was pretty creepy. I love Ogi and Viletta's relationship afterwards, though. I mean, he was trying to address her wounds. I mean, what was he supposed to do? Wait till she wakes up? I mean, she could have died at that point. All he saw was an injured person, and he had to act fast or she was going to die. So I didn't find that creepy. I mean, he didn't try to put clothes back on her because he respected her, her privacy, I guess. It wasn't like he pulled a Joker on her, from the Killing Joke where he took, Gordon's wife, Barbara, and shot her and then took pictures of her naked or something. It wasn't like Ogi took it to the next level. He simply just undressed her to address the wounds. Although you would have to argue that if he took her clothes off while he was, blindfolded, or cover his eyes, he'd still have to look at her naked to put the bandages on. So at some level, Ogi saw her naked, which means he should just put a bra on her anyhow. So I guess the way you look at it, they probably didn't have to have her naked. Even to show the wound, now I think about it, she could have been wearing a bra and it would have been worth this. The scene would have worked probably the same. I should have photoshopped a bra on her for this stream. Oh well, maybe I'll do that in the thumbnail. Wouldn't that be funny? That'd be really hard to find a bra that would fit that scene. Like I have to go out to a online store, grab the image, cut out the image, and make it work. You know what? I think people would click on that. Maybe not. We'll see. I think she told him that he wouldn't be concerned and come after to get the code back. I also think but can't confirm the only way to lose the Geass is to die or claim the code from the giver. Well, if that's the case, then why did Lelouch say early on, like, why did you take away his Geass power? You know, she said, here's the thing though, right? He said two different things. Kill him, take the Geass power away. If those things were the same, then you wouldn't have to say them in two separate words. You know what I mean? Like if he said like if killing was only to give the Geass power or the code thing, which Lelouch didn't even know about that, by the way. He had no idea that's how that worked. So he thought there were two separate ways. And C2 doesn't correct him by saying, no, that's not how it works. That's why it was kind of weird, because you're right. I think that's how it does normally work. The problem is when they're going back and forth in that in the clubhouse, she confirms that you can take away Geass abilities. That's what confused the heck out of me. It's one thing to say, like, okay, Lelouch was saying stuff and C2 didn't confirm or not confirm. Okay, fine. Lelouch is just an idiot. What else is new? I'm just kidding there. Then C2 confirmed it later on that, yeah, you can take away people's Geass abilities. You can keep your power. That's the problem with that whole scene. It's like Lelouch might have had a theory. C2 supported it. That's the problem with it. They should have just outright stated that's not true. They didn't, which was really stupid to me. And by the way, that comes into play later on in Reign of Darkness. I say later on because that was a prequel. But in Reign of Darkness, they also bring this concept up again, and they don't explain it. So, you know, they doubled down on one of the worst explanations. In the episode, Mao reminded me of the Joker, especially since I was being wacky villain. He was being a wacky villain in the carnival. Yeah, it's not a bad comparison, although Joker's, I think, has more finesse in his way of doing things. I think maybe C2 only loved him like a parent, but Mao loved her because she was the only thing he really knew. I mean, maybe it's still creepy. In either context, it was kind of creepy. Actually, I want to highlight this this comic. I think it's pretty good. I think it was creepy. If you think about C2's relationship with Lelouch, it's also a little creepy because Lelouch was 17 when C2 kissed him. Yeah, I remember C2 was like 700 years old. So everything is relative. I know the age of consent in Japan is not 18. That's why certain films are okay. I'm not going to say which ones, but here though, it's just at least Lelouch was 17 when he met her, so it wasn't like they went from a parent to lovers. They went from friends to lovers, if you even want to say that, because, well, actually, you can now in Resurrection. So if we count Resurrection, that's how they went. They went from friends to lovers, not parent to lover. That's the creepy part. Although they could have been Lelouch 18, there'd be no problems there. I don't know if C2 was ever in love with him, like if you're in love with her. It may have been more platonic, like a brother or a mother. Mao, I think, grew to love her in a romantic fashion. Yeah, I think what I think this point, yeah, is important because he only knew her and no one else. And that's why he ultimately chose her or wanted to be with her. Because think about this, right? He can't love anyone else because everyone else can read his mind unless they make. Well, that's not true. He could love someone else, but he never would. And that's V2 because V2 wouldn't be affected by the Geass power either. Or Jeremiah. He could fall in love with Jeremiah because Jeremiah has a canceller. I'm just kidding. Don't take any of that seriously. I'm just giving examples. Anyone else he could have been with who wouldn't be affected by the Geass power. Although there is a comedy I made fun of in my video where this girl can read people's minds. It's a whole school club thing. And it worked. They found a way to be friends with a girl who could read everyone's minds. Granted, it's a slice of life story, although the first episode was kind of dark. It's called, hold a second. You guys are not aware. Hodaka, mind reader. I didn't finish it, by the way. I was middle watching it. I kind of lost interest. Really? Yeah, it's called Kotoru San. I want to go on Mal because Mal gives you an image of the story. Weather review. Oh right, Hodaka. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but here it is though. Here's the story. I didn't get a chance to finish the anime yet, but this actually does present a scenario where a person can read people's minds and people play it off like it's normal. So if Mao really worked at it, he maybe could have got friends to be with. But then again, this story is a slice. Yeah, I'm 7 of 12, so I'm not quite done with it yet. Okay. The doctor is Japanese. I thought she was Britannian. Like I like her being Britannian, but not a race. Instead of every Britannian being horrible people, except for Ashford. I know she's Japanese because here I'll show you the transcripts. If I go to the next episode, so I'm looking at Geass versus Geass. Give me a second here. Now maybe she was just an admirer. It's very possible, but she says, let's see, Suzaku. Where is it? Yeah. Here's what she said, quote unquote. You think subconsciously you're comparing yourself to your father. That may be the underlying cause of your insecurity. It's quite common in the children of famous people. Your father, Genbu Kotorugi, the former prime minister of Japan, he was a great man. Now, maybe she was saying that because she was being respectful to Suzaku as a Britannian. But then again, I mean, it's one to say like he was a famous individual or he did a lot. She said she was a great man. And if you watch the dubbing, she said with gravitas and seriousness. She really meant that. She wasn't just saying that to appease him. She really believed he was a great man. She could have been a Japanese sympathizer, but I interpret that to indicate she actually was Japanese. But then again, that's just my interpretation. I mean, if you look at her photo, you can't tell what she is because, again, Suzaku is Japanese, so he doesn't look Japanese at all. Not trying to go racist there, but I'm just saying this is one of those animes where the races are not the races. There we go. They're not like obvious what they are. Like C2, for example, she was with Mao in China, but C2 is not Asian, so who the hell knows? I don't want to go in this discussion. The point is, I'm pretty sure she's Japanese. Again, you can't tell from the photo or from the image. He also grew up to resent her for going insane and banning him. Yeah, he did. Personally, I don't like when a story makes a group of people have the same characteristics, and no, having different levels of being bad is not a valid argument. I don't like when a story makes a group of people have the same characteristics, and now having different levels of being bad is not a valid argument. I'm not sure what the context was. I must have said earlier. I wish I could respond. I'm not sure what the context was there. Is that yeah? You'll have to explain. I forgot. I go so fast with this stuff. Like it's hard to remember everything I said. People say the scene makes no sense because Lelouch answers him. They don't pay attention to it at all. The series. Yeah, I agree. Freaking DX started that whole crap. Well, actually, he probably didn't. He was one who made it famous, I guess. Apparently, the reason C2 left Mao was because Mao was becoming too obsessed with her, and she thought that leaving him would help him. I don't get the logic since Mao was cursed everyone else's slots, and he was dependent on her too, right? If she leaves him, what's he gonna do? Nothing. Leaving him was a death sentence, so yeah, that was that was the wrong call. Mao the chainsaw D attack. He needs to destroy DX's Code Geass videos. You really need to do it one day. One day I'll do it. I have notes. Like it'd be a 2-hour, 3-hour live stream, and it would just be on that video. I'm not kidding. It would take us probably 2 or 3 live streams to go through it because I have so many thoughts on that video. I have some positive things about it. I have some negative things about it. Some of it was clearly hyperbolic just to piss off people, and he did a good job. If that was the goal. Here, reading Lelouch's mind was maybe because he was too distracted by what was happening in the other episode. Lelouch wiped his mind before the encounter, so maybe that helped. I don't know what the context is with that. Roll the Geass, cops Geass. Roll the Roll the cops Geass. I thought just the captain was Geass since he can give orders to the cops. Did Lelouch need to Geass all the other cops and the pilot as well? I guess so. That's a good question. I thought the cops were all Geassed, but the thing is, during the actual conflict, let's speed up really quickly here. Almost. Come on, almost there. The cops have, yeah, they have shields. So if Lelouch used Geass on them, it was probably before they put their riot gear on. I assume Lelouch went to the police force and Geass, maybe the captain and the other people too as well, to use the guns on him. But it's hard to say for sure. I thought he Geassed everyone. The pilot was an indicator for me, but it's possible he didn't Geass the cops, which would only further prove my point, I guess, because if they were following their procedures, then again, they would shoot to subdue, not kill. But Mao did say when he used the Geass on the cops, so he's the mind reader, not me. That still makes Mao as president. Yes, it does. You're right. Obviously, Mao was the one who came before Lelouch, but technically, C2 Layla came before Mao. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he still comes before Lelouch. True. I'm just saying Layla came first. Can I just say I love seeing what the buildings they had in episode 15? I don't know why it looks so nice. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, this right here. Yeah, it's nice scenery. When the show wants to, it has really nice backgrounds. The art holds up pretty well even now. It's a really nice scene where they're on top of the helicopter pad. Fun fact: Leila's older than Lelouch because she was born November 1 month earlier than Lelouch, and clearly older than Nagito and Suzaku. Yeah, Leila's one of the older characters in the series. Born 1999, right? 1 year, 1 month before Lelouch and Suzaku. C2 might not know how to control Geass. When she had Geass, it seemed like she couldn't control it either. I control it, true. Since like everyone kept her gifts due to her Geass. Yeah, I mean, again, maybe it's possible she doesn't know. It could be like a Ryuk Light thing where Light had to learn about the Death Note through experimentations, and Ryuk didn't know everything. It's also possible the same way that C2 doesn't know everything about Geass. Although I believe she coined the term in Reign of Darkness. Again, I could be wrong there. And she only learned about Geass through her experience giving contracts out to other people. And she does state several times that she has, what's it called? Excuse me. She has stated many times that she doesn't know how everything works. She said like the Geass manifests different in different people. So it's possible that no one under her ever got the Geass power. That was a bad sentence. It's possible she never had someone under her who she gave Geass power to that actually controlled it. Because Charles was V2's individual. And Orpheus was also, I believe, V2, right? So I don't think C2 had one contract that actually ever worked out well. And V2 had technically two. So how do you like that? I guess V2 was a better immortal. I'm of course joking, but did not think about any resurrection? What's his name? Nasawi? I don't know. The guy who could like turn he could change people's allegiances. Was that fully evolved? I think it was one eye. It doesn't count. You're a hardcore fan of Code Geass. Thanks, Light. I'm glad you're interested in Code Geass, considering that you got more important things to do, like killing criminals. Oh, by the way, please don't kill me when you find out my name. I appreciate it. I like being alive. Plus, the nun forced you to take her code, so maybe she might not know anything about Geass. Yeah, that's also a good point, too. I'm pretty sure C2 was internally 16 or 17 while Mao was 6, so excuse me. Pretty much. Orpheus did have two eyes, but Toto didn't. Okay, good to know. C2 is physically 16, though, right? C2 is 16 physically. Mentally, she's like 700, which is crazy to me. I saw a meme on that. Oh, the C2 age thing. Well, the story about Genbu's death is that he took his life in the war. I think that could be admirable to anyone of any race or culture. Yeah, but the entire Britannian society has looked down on Japanese people, and they're very racist. In fact, persecuting us, the numbers, as Cornelia said, is part of like policy. You're supposed to hate them. Liking the numbers is not really allowed, or it's not allowed, but it's not encouraged. Like Ashford's like a liberal school, so they kind of allow it. But even then, they weren't happy when Suzaku came in there. Well, a couple people weren't happy. Most people seem to be okay with it. So as far as I understood it, the how do I put this? Persecuting against 11s was pretty commonplace, and being nasty towards them was common. So the fact the doctor, I mean, you got a point, because I guess you could say it was honorable, but still though, complimenting Japanese people in Britannia wasn't exactly done often. I mean, look how they treated them in the ghettos. It's a fair point though. How does Mao not get killed by the whole squad firing, blasting him? They shot Mao in this area here, and they didn't shoot him in any particular vital organs. The bullets probably went through him. And the scene is kind of horribly done because they slowed down Mao while speeding up, while playing the gunfire at like normal time. So it looks like Mao's been hit by 100 bullets at once. But if both scenes were played the exact same speed, Mao would have fallen over probably way earlier, and half the bullets would never hit him. They basically shot him in the arm, and I believe maybe around here, but no vital organs were hit, and Mao was given immediate medical attention, which is, again, that's police standard procedure there. The idea is simply that they shot to subdue him, not to kill him. And that makes sense because Lelouch used Geass on them, and I said in my video that people under Geass obey the order the way they understand it, and people under cops will kill to subdue, at least due to most training. They fired, by the way, in the this area here, which is a standard procedure. They didn't shoot the head or the legs. They shot here. Because in real life, shooting the legs is very hard. I would never know. But that's apparently what I've read and seen in studies. If you're not satisfied with the explanation, by the way, that's totally fine. I mean, the show never says this. I had to, dig this up in the back of my mind to come to some conclusion how this is possible. Again, Code Geass is not good at explaining stuff, at least on this level. Although I did state in one of my reviews that Code Geass does explain things well. And what I meant to say was, in that context, like the greater picture of what's happening, like the plot and things of that sort. But when it comes to small things like this, the show is not good at explaining anything. And they should have, because I think that discussion or that topic should have been explored further. Okay, what I meant was I like the Doctor being Britannian and being a good person rather than a trope that she isn't Britannian because, okay, got it. I'll yeah. It's just like it was usually like generic term of wait, who are we talking about here? Oh, the Doctor, yes. My previous comment was in regard to Rivalz reading Lelouch's mind for Ceja's real name. Oh, hold on. What did you say? Because I have to go back and find it. Oh, here reading Lelouch's mind was maybe because he was distracted by what was happening in the other episode. Lelouch wiped his mind before the encounter. Maybe that helped. Oh, that's a good point. But didn't Lelouch only erase his the plan, not so much anything else? So I don't know if it's a fair argument, but that's a good point though. When they first met up though, I mean, that's an indication to me that he could have found out her real name. Look, let's be honest. That whole time when Mao was with Lelouch and Suzaku, it's not a well written scene. I like the story a lot, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That scene was horribly written. Mao has all the information in the world between the two characters, and the only thing he revealed was Suzaku's father's death, or Suzaku killed his father. I know we're jumping ahead to the next episode, but God, that scene pissed me off. I've only watched. Oh, hold on. I'm like, the only good Britannian seems to be the student council because they are Lucius' friends. That's why I like the character like Dalton. Britannians are, but still, Honorable Way doesn't discriminate. Yeah, Dalton's MVP. I love the character. He was done dirty. I'm not going to discuss that again. That was last stream, but I agreed. Also, he isn't related to Lelouch. There are other characters, of course. Yeah. I've only watched the original series. I didn't watch Akito or Resurrection. I would say I saw a video from what's his name, Penguin Zoe. He's a big YouTuber. I think he's got 10 million subscribers or something. He gets 1 million views per video, even though his quality is a little better than mine. Maybe actually a lot better. But it's not. He doesn't think that special with the videos. He does the moist meter. That's his famous video. He did an anime tier list, and he said that in Code Geass, and I had mixed feelings about his statements, but he basically said that the original series ended perfectly, and now all they're doing is milking it. he used a certain term when it came to milking. I think you know what I mean. But they're milking the story with like this film and other stuff, and so he doesn't watch any of the extended uh, footage, or not footage, but series, especially the film, because he didn't want to like ruin the beauty of the ending. And that's a very common, I guess, view that many people have about the series. So if that's how you feel about the story, you don't have to watch anything else. I've stated 1,000 times now. R1, R2 is really all you need. Then besides that, I guess you could check out the picture dramas and audio dramas. That's probably it, though. You don't have to watch Resurrection. The film is a good fan service, but if you like how the original story ended, and you don't even want to see an alternative take of him coming back to life, coming back to life, then you don't have to check it out. I personally enjoyed it, as a fan. So I would recommend the film. Agito, I definitely recommend. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Although your mind might get warped by all the new Geass stuff, which was never fully explained. Especially Layla's Geass command, which, man. And of course, I've said 1,000 times already, but her ability was blue because it was, not it was a non-selfish, a selfless act to bring the conscious together. But with what's it called? With Al from Jezari Code, that's what he's doing with his Geass power, and it's red. God, these idiots. Anyways, I keep going that red every somehow I always tie back to that. Doesn't matter what I'm talking about. Take Shirley's father, anime innocent man, novel person who conducted human experiments. Lelouch did nothing wrong and is completely justified. That's what I meant. I don't think he did that though. I don't think Shirley's father worked in Code R. As far as I know, there was a theory about this, but as far as I know, I don't think he worked in Code R. There was it a visual novel where someone thought he did, but there was an entire long thread on the Code Geass Wikipedia page about Shirley's dad. I don't think he worked for Code R. That was the ongoing theory about his, what he was doing, why he was a Naruto at the time. But as far as I know, he didn't work for Code R. If you guys have any evidence to say otherwise, I would love to hear it because I haven't found anything on my end. But I could be wrong. I'm trying to rereading Oz, and I'm supposed to believe that all characters are horrible beings because they're Britannians. Oh, I see what you're saying. In short, I like that not all Britannians are horrible people, and they're not connected to Lelouch. That doesn't mean I agree with all their actions. Right, of course. Yeah, all right. Yeah, of course, Ari holds. No, look, dude, you can keep commenting all you want. I love the analysis there. I wasn't when you first posted the comment, I was like, wait, what's the context here? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, look, absolutely not all of them are awful. The average civilian, God, my throat. The average civilian Britannians, like, they had nothing to do with what happened to Japan. They didn't make the decisions for them to conquer Britannia. Obviously, there's good people there. Besides the student council, like, average civilians are probably nice, but you do have these people who, because the country actively promotes racism and prejudice towards the numbers, that it's okay to be that way. Some people don't want to do that, and of course they get punished as well. But generally speaking, being openly racist in Japan at this point against Japanese people is accepted and probably encouraged, especially when Charles makes a big global speech after Clovis's death and says that people are not equal and this is a good thing. The strong survive. Like, this is the speech he gives. And if that's the leader of your country, you might be influenced to act accordingly because of that. It really is in the context of the story. And again, the not just what the leader says, but the policies he put into place, they kind of go hand in hand. I mean, if Charles just said stupid stuff and nobody cared and that's it, and didn't act on it, it'd be one thing. But he put policy in place to keep things a status quo, if you will. And Cornelia was one of the biggest followers of that horrible ideology. I don't remember what made Clovis bad. I remember Lelouch said to Euphemia something about how he will be doing making her as bad as Clovis. I don't remember what Clovis did. Clovis, he ordered the deaths of Japanese people in the ghettos. I got you any battery really soon. He ordered the death of Japanese people in the ghettos because he thought he would lose his line to succession. Because, I know I said because already, but because C2 was lost to them. That was part of the Code R project. He didn't want to lose C2, because that would, I guess, cause problems down the road, and he failed with the Code R. So to cover up his failures of the Code R project, he killed innocent people in the entire the Saitama, not Saitama, the Shikano, no, Shinjuku ghetto to cover it up, his failures. He covered that up, or he said like the story was gas. He used the cover of gas to kill innocent people so he wouldn't lose his accession in line for the throne because he failed with Code R. So to put it simply, he killed innocent people for no reason. Lots of innocent people in awful ways. Not there's any good ways to kill people, but you know what I mean. Plus, he was a pervert too because he liked costumes and he made like, these sexual things for Cornelia and Euphemia to wear. So that's why he did. Was awful. He's also kind of a dick too in general. Okay. I always thought kind of that Charles said made him sound like a dictator, just how he said it. Yeah, well, it wasn't just you're right because people always say it's not what you say but how you say it. And Charles was not only he didn't stay like a philosopher speculating on could this be the reality. It was more like yeah, this is how it is. Okay, the strong destroy the weak. That's the whole thing of Britannia. Also, Clovis was the creep who had a crush on his half sisters. Yeah, he was. Oh my god, he was messed up. Clovis was just fudge him. He was kind of a creep. Again, who makes costumes or swimsuits for your sisters to wear where you can see basically everything? And Euphemia was like okay with this. I don't know. Euphemia was so willfully ignorant when it came to Clovis' actions. I mean, Lelouch called her out on his bullshit, and she had to like legitimately she had to legitimately think about like was Clovis even a good person? Because she looked at his paintings and that yeah, Clovis really liked Marianne, which is true, and Luce and Nunnally. But so what? You know, still a creep. Okay, I got was it? Okay, I got to change my battery. This will be the last time. Hopefully, we have any more interruptions with the stream. So I don't apologize, but I got to make one quick thing. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere now. Okay, let's see how it looks. Oh, actually, hold on. I got too much on my back wall. I can never really see it until I plug in. 1 second. All right, there we go. That's better. Now you don't see all of it. You guys didn't want to see my radiator. It's going off, by the way. You can't see it because, or you can't hear it because I have the sound thing going on. Thank God. Okay. Did Clovis make those for his sister? I thought he just designed them. I don't think it was necessarily for his sisters. That's a fair point. I don't remember exactly what the context was here. I can look it up real quick. You're probably right. I don't think he made. I don't think he made what they intended for his sisters to wear them. But still, though, this was. Let me see. No, not 6. Was it 8? Yeah, it was 8. Okay, let's see. You really want me to wear that? Yes, the one that looks lovely on you. It's probably too much. It it was safe. All the swimsuits designed by Clovis. By the way, this was the safest of all the swimsuits. You know what it was? Let's go to context of what this looked like. Give me a second here. This was the safest of all the costumes Clovis created. Okay, just keep that in mind. This was the safest one. All right. Anyways, back to now it's back to the original episode or the beginning. So, he designed them. I don't know if it was specifically for the sisters. Look at that face he's making. I think you're right. We don't know for sure if it was specifically for the sisters. It probably wasn't. But still, though, kind of creepy. That's the point. Like, that outfit there, that was like the safe one. What does that tell you, Nothing good. Nothing good indeed. Okay. We've been on 15 for like 3 years, it seems like. Let's make a new banner. We're going to do stage 16 now. Because 16 is actually pretty good. 16 I enjoyed. 15, not so much. All right, let's do it. 16. All right, we're going to move on to that one. Let me just pull up the images and we will get to it. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so the episode starts off with this boat. And this is, I guess, the Black Knight's new headquarters, or one of the new headquarters they have. When Lelouch is talking to Detard, he says that Kyoto and India have finally worked out some kind of agreement to work together, which I didn't know they were having that dispute to begin with. So they're working together now, and Colin is actually training with the Nightmare Frame, which is a good scene because it's always important in these stories, even subtly, to show that characters are training actively with their mechs, powers, whatever it is. So that when we see them use the device, ability, whatever it is again, we know that they actually improve to get to that point. It helps us understand the progress of characters when they do this stuff, because a lot of times in shows, and Code Geass unfortunately is a little guilty of this, we don't see how characters got so good at doing something, whatever the skill is. And with Colin, at least we're seeing her train with the Nightmare Frame. And every single scene with Colin, by the way, which is in the other base, she's always reading the manual of the Gurren. So she's always learning new stuff about it, which I like. It's subtle things they're putting in there to help you understand how Colin became such a good Nightmare Frame pilot. It's really good stuff. So Ogi explains the entire system now. I mentioned early on they have a whole block system, and there's like different levels here. And the higher levels have certain knowledge, lower levels that the lower levels don't. So if lower level people are captured, nothing gets revealed. Like here. They also have like dummy cells of people who don't know anything. Again, to stop Britannia or prevent them from like actually capturing the right people. They also have infiltrated like every single aspect of Britannian life. I believe that's what he was saying, which is kind of cool. So the Black Knights have become like this very powerful force. They're involved in the government. They have cells everywhere. It's pretty impressive what they've come up with between Lelouch and Detard. Those two guys, they're really intelligent. Okay, they came with this whole structure. I mean, we talk about intelligence between characters in anime, and Lelouch. I mean, this is not organizing your whole unit like this. It's pretty good stuff. I didn't mention my intelligence video heavily, but yeah, being able to do this is pretty smart. I mean, the fact that like Detard's like, hey, listen, I got a plan, and Lelouch looked it over and he's like, I got some adjustments to make. It's good stuff. One of my favorite parts of the story. Then we see Naomi. We get it back of her head, and she explains how they're, or she shows a picture of Toto, and they're still trying to find him because remember in the last episode he was by Genbu's grave, and then of course, ultimately he sacrificed himself. He didn't die, but he got captured, so the rest could escape. Siege is going to Chinese Federation, I guess, to meet up with the High Eunuchs. I don't think this ever goes anywhere because of the situation with Mao, because she came back to help out, which is kind of important, by the way. And I didn't notice it at first, even when rewatching it, but this is a really good scene. You see how Mao's in the airport, right? And C2 is here. He knew she was going away for a while, so this would be the best time to get Lelouch and Nunnally. It was a really smart move on Mao's part. He waited for her to get out of the town, basically. So it was a good strategy there. We get a flashback where Lelouch and Suzaku are by a bunch of dead bodies, Japanese people, I assume, from the recent attack. And Suzaku, of course, is naturally upset, which makes sense. It's his people. And Nelly tries to cheer him up with that line. I think was it to stop tears, like touching a face or something. I forgot what the actual quote is, but it was a nice quote. And then we get this nice shot of Lelouch thinking about this and Suzaku thinking about it. It's a very subtle scene, but I like how they show this whole flashback of what happened, and then we see both characters contemplating about that event. Lelouch again is shirtless, and C2, of course, is in China, I believe. We're back at Ashford, and they're talking about something. What was it again? I don't even remember. It was so inconsequential, I guess. I think it was about skipping class or something, because Lelouch never goes to class anymore. He's so busy doing his extracurricular activities. Then Rivalz comes and says, Millie's having another person, an arranged marriage, I guess, and he's upset about it, even though there's nothing he could do. He also says, men don't cry or something. Rivalz is really weird. He's just, for God's sakes, man, okay? Just tell Millie how you feel, get rejected, and move on, all right? This whole, back and forth where he likes her a lot but can't tell her is so stupid. There are literal scenes where they're all alone, and he could have told her so many different times. Even when she graduated, he still couldn't tell her anything. Although maybe in Lose the Resurrection, there were a couple because they were traveling together. But what the heck does that mean? Absolutely nothing. Anyways, Suzaku, I guess, runs off. He's upset, I guess, because again, Lelouch. That's right. Lelouch ran off to talk to Nunnally because Suzaku wants to go have dinner with them, and Rival's like, "What about my situation? Nobody cares, Rival. Go piss off." Then Nunnally is captured by another person. This is, I believe, her. This is the second time that someone has gotten a jump on her. Millie's talking to Llyod, and he says, she said, "You want to marry someone of low stat?" He's like, "I don't care. Let's get married." It was kind of he was like, "What?" It was kind of funny. And Cecil is like, "Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it if you're bothering us." Now, I wrote a comment, and I think we all can agree. If you had an arranged marriage with Millie, you'd probably be like Llyod and say, "Let's just get married." You wouldn't even think about it. It's kind of funny. Llyod's a sociopath, but even a normal person would be like, "Yeah, I'm marrying this chick. It's totally fine. We'll figure it out." Her outfit's kind of funny, too. Lelouch walks in, and he gets a letter from Mao, not a picture of Nunnally, and Mao calls him, and he explains how he has to go rescue her, and how he has, I think it's 5 hours. Don't bring C2 in there. Don't bring the cops in there. Also, next time, tell the cops to kill me, not shoot me. That's why I'm still alive. You can thank Britannian science, medical, whatever it is. Nunnally, okay, I may not know about this, and I think this is our key thing that's a missed opportunity, because again, I was saying in the last episode, Mao can read minds at any given time in the story. So his knowledge, again, should be infinite here, theoretically. So he's talking to Nunnally, right? He can read her entire mind, yet he never discusses anything about her past with Nunnally. Not one thing. It was a horrible, horrible waste of a scene here, because he's talking to Nunnally. He knows everything about her, literally everything, but yet says nothing about the fact that she was crippled, her past with Lelouch. Nothing comes out of it except the fact he says, "Oh, you're a fun team" or something. I'm like, really, Mao? The same guy who pierced Shirley's essence and tore her apart. You couldn't go through Nunnally's mind and figure out what's going on there? I would have loved to have heard what was going on in her mind when Mao read it. That would have been kind of interesting. And the fact that we don't get any of that in the story was kind of upsetting. It was a missed opportunity for sure. And that's where you can have a mind reader in anime. If you don't make them always if you're writing a character like Mao or any mind reader, you got to make sure that every scene they're in, if they can read someone's mind, you got to take into account when writing the scene. And they didn't really do that here, because Mao doesn't say anything specific about Nunnally that he could have learned from reading her mind. It was kind of a waste of a scene, in my opinion. Anywho, we get this. This is an interesting scene that comes right afterwards. So Lucian's walking around because he's scared for Nunnally's life, understandably so. He walks into the clubhouse room. They're eating pizza on the same table that Nina had her way with, and they're upset about, I guess, the arranged marriage thing, and then of course Lelouch with Shirley or whatever, they're having a lover spat. That's why he's not talking to her, and then he talks to Nina, saying that Lelouch has no experience, he's never done the business before, and of course Nina is blushing, I guess because the topic is a little embarrassing. Arthur bites his hand, which is a good way to segue from this discussion, which we don't want to have. Lelouch walks in, he's careless. They're all say, "Hey, what's going on, man?" He's just, again, lost. Colin, even though she's acting an invalid, this is probably her most adorable scene in the whole story. Because she's like, "Oh, Arthur, is he gambling again?" Like, she's definitely playing her role well. A very adorable part here. And then before that, this is another thing to mention, Suzaku says, "I thought maybe you had a thing with Lelouch." And she says, again, "No, I don't." This is now 2 times in the story where Colin was asked by someone or says outright, "Yeah, I don't like Lelouch." Which is important because, again, Code Geass is not a harem. I'm not doing that rant again. Okay, so Lelouch can't figure out Nellie's location. Oh, Miles says, like, if you do handstand or something, I'll give you an extra hour, which is a sick way to toy with him. He can't figure out her location. Eventually, Suzaku joins in, which we'll get to in a second. Ogi has like 4 padlocks or something. Man, this guy must be like really nervous. I wonder if he put these in because of Viletta. But look at this. He must be really scared of someone to come to his crappy apartment to kill him. I don't know. It's weird. See, Viletta is now a housewife. Again, the whole personality change. He's keeping track of her with the camera. One thing important is that she didn't leave the house because the Japanese people are kind of racist towards Britannians. They won't treat them really nicely. And that's important, by the way. That was good foreshadowing because in the future episodes, they break into the apartment to attack Viletta. So they bring up in this episode that people around this area in the ghetto would probably do something awful to her, a Britannian. And it comes up later on in the story. So that was good foreshadowing. And she took all the food from Ogi to make the stuff she was working on, which of course makes you wonder if Ogi went shopping later on for her, but that's a whole other thing. Anyways, the search for Nelly continues on. Eventually, Suzaku helps him out. And Mao knows he's there, by the way, because he can read minds, a 500 meter radius. So he knows everything in Suzaku's mind as well, and that will come up later in the episode. They're in the elevator. They go down a couple floors. He hacked it because his card didn't work, and Suzaku speculates like, "Oh, so you've been, so you've used that before?" Which he's like, "Yeah, of course he has to escape." So they go down into the floor. There's a gun turret, which Mao, I guess, installed. Suzaku was able to dodge the bullets and kick it down. Some people say this seems absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this is establishing Suzaku's superhuman ability, which is fine to me. The story is pretty consistent with that. He can dodge bullets with, I guess, rather ease. I mean, I guess maybe it's not normal. I don't know. It didn't really bother me too much. I know some people hate that part of the story. I thought it was foreshadowing for later on when he dodges the bullets when he was 0. But anyways, continuing on, Mao's with Nunnally, and they find her. Well, actually, he's not with Nunnally. He's waiting for Lelouch in that room in the school. Nellie's by herself. Lelouch comes in there to find her. They see the bomb, and eventually they come to the conclusion they have to cut the wire. They got to cut the wire a certain way where they won't stop the bomb from moving. It has to stay in motion, otherwise it will blow up. So Lelouch uses Suzaku's excellent ability his physical attributes to go and cut the wire in motion without destroying the bomb. Lelouch, of course, used Geass on himself. That's from the intro. So Lelouch tells Suzaku to stay with him, but actually, in reality, he actually Geassed himself. Then we get to the scene here where Sayako is shopping, and Lelouch, Suzaku called her to find Nunnally. The whole time I was like, who called Sayako? It was Suzaku. So they're at the school. Mao comes to see, Lelouch comes to face off Mao, and doing so, he doesn't bring the Black Knights, no weapons, none of that stuff. And Mao's like, "You did that. I'm impressed." Now, this whole thing was kind of stupid because Lelouch had no chance to stop Mao, and I speculate he didn't have to necessarily play the chess game, But then I realized Mao had a gun, so if Lelouch tried to do something stupid like tackle him or cheat, Mao would have shot him. So I guess that's why he had to go on with a stick game. We see C2, I guess from a flashback. Then get to a scene where this is important, I guess. No, it is kind of important. You see Cornelia and Euphemia together. They're talking about how Clovis really liked Marion a lot. That's why he made the Ares Villa, or this top part, look like the Ares Villa. And he really liked Lelouch, even though they fought a lot. And Cornelia said they want to avenge Lelouch, Marion, Clovis, and I believe Nunnally. Because the land took all three of them. Well, Marion didn't, but it took Lelouch and Clovis and Nunnally. So Cornelia basically implies here that she cares about Lelouch and Nunnally, which again confirms my suspicion that in Stage 7, had Lelouch just got captured and talked to Cornelia, she wouldn't have killed him. And she could have used Geass on her. Anyways, back to this awesome chess game where every time a piece hits one of the sides, the bomb will either blow up or not blow up. And during the game, obviously, Lelouch is losing because, he can't beat someone who can read his mind. Suzaku, in the meantime, is preparing to cut the wire. Again, still losing. Although he tries, Lelouch to come up with 5 different plans. And I like how Mao discusses Lelouch's psyche, how there's a part of him that's a critic, then there's a part judging the critic, and a part watching the critic. So we learn from this kind of how Lelouch's mind works. It's pretty crazy. He has a bunch of, I guess, personas, or that's not the right term. He has a bunch of he's thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead, which only really smart people can do successfully on a consistent basis. Eventually, again, Lelouch loses, so he throws the king in there, checkmate. Lelouch then freaks out. And before that, though, Lelouch, again, here, he's talking about, he's begging Mao to stop. And like I said, it's hard to stream. This is him being honest. Even though he Geassed himself to forget the plan, he's still acting like this is him being genuinely upset about what's happening. Mao was even saying, this is the core essence of your soul. Which is important because Nunnally is everything to Lelouch. If there was any doubt before in the story, what Nunnally meant to Lelouch, this scene proves without a doubt that the reason why Lelouch did everything was for Nunnally and no other purpose, because he's literally freaking out that if Nunnally dies, what's the point to everything? He's literally begging Mao to stop. Even this face he makes is very innocent. Considering Lelouch has a very evil face in the story, I mean, this is, yeah. And then, of course, when he thinks she's dead, he screams, like this. And then apparently she didn't die because, Suzaku disarmed the bomb. Suzaku jumps in there to arrest Mao. And of course, we see before that what he did. Now, here's the part where they really dropped the ball here, okay? And this is why, again, you can't put a mind reader in a story if you don't utilize it correctly. Suzaku and Lelouch have been fighting. But the problem is, neither one knows it. Lelouch has no idea at this point Suzaku is the Lancelot pilot, and Suzaku has no idea Lelouch is Zero. But guess what? Mao knows both of these things, yet says nothing during this entire discussion. Now, you could argue maybe he was a little deranged because he was being arrested, but still, he could have told Suzaku Lelouch was Zero and vice versa, and they would have fought each other. He's like, "What? You trust one friend?" I'm like, "Why would, dude? Can't you read their minds? Just tell them, man. This is why you can't have a mind reader like this. You gotta put restrictions or reasonings why he couldn't have said this. It's not a huge plot hole. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. It's a big plot hole in the series. I'm not sure why they did that. That's again why Mao's an interesting character, but he was poorly written. This is one scene where it doesn't make any sense to me. He wouldn't tell Lelouch or Suzaku their alter identities. Yes, he brings up Suzaku's father, which is, it's something, but he could have easily reached into Suzaku's mind and realized he hates Zero. I mean, besides wanting to die, which is important as a part of his character, and killing Genbu, the biggest thing Suzaku has going on right now is he hates Zero and wants to stop him. You think Mao would have, picked up on that? It's one of those things where I think could have been handled much better. It's probably one of the only parts of the story where I think the writing just wasn't well done. Because again, Mao's kind of an OP character, and you can't have an OP character like that and forget about it when it's convenient. This is probably the only time in the story where I think it could have been much better. Is it good we learn about Suzaku's past and or they kill Genbu and the reasons why he wants to die in battle to avenge or to make up for that? Sure, definitely. But he knew both characters' identities and said nothing. And then, of course, he couldn't even realize that Lelouch was going to use Geass on him. Again, he could read people's minds, so it's... I don't know. It could have been written so much... It could have been written much better than how it was. He could have easily read Lelouch's mind. He was going to use Geass on him. Unless he focused all his attention on Suzaku and not Lelouch. Which is very possible because he did find like the deep recesses of his mind to learn about this specific event. Still, though, it's hard to get a drop on someone who can read minds. Unless you erase your own, like Lelouch did. Which was a smart plan. That was the good plan. Erasing his mind so he couldn't read his mind to find out what the plan was. But the whole idea that Mao knew basically everything and said nothing is bizarre to me. But anyways, Lelouch used Geass on him to tell him not never speak again. And then C2 killed him. And she mentioned C's world, which is important because that comes up later. And and Suzaku's upset now because, well, one, Lelouch knows everything. And two, this dark secret came out. And that's the, that's episode 16. I liked it a lot better. Although that one part just really upsets me because I think they could have done a much better job with that part in the story. Let's see. And again, Mao never tried to read Lelouch's mind to find C2's name. I mentioned that before. Let's see. Yeah. That's probably all I have for the notes on this. Yeah, there were 14 tiers for the structure that Dieter came up with, which was kind of cool. Yeah, that's all I got for the notes wise. There wasn't a lot to have an episode, but I liked Lelouch's plan to stop Mao. I just think Mao acted like an idiot. I guess the only way I could describe it. It's just bizarre how someone could be with two people, hate each other, and not know it, and not tell them. Anyways, that's my thoughts, and I'll read some comments real quick, and then we're gonna play Jedi Code. And by the way, I got plans for Jedi Code too. I have like just so you guys know, I have 10 rainbow tickets and I have 11 silver tickets. So we're gonna have like 13 summons or something, or 11 summons. It's gonna be pretty cool. So you want to stick around? You might want to stick around for that. All right, let's read the comments and we'll move on to the next thing in hand here. Okay. All right. If it was for his sisters, again, goes to show they're beyond creepy because Cornelia and Schneizel, bleh. Yes, that fun stuff. Rivalz an obnoxious, loud fool like Tamaki, pretty much. Someone needs to upgrade security at Ashford Academy. People just keep wandering in. Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy? Like Mao is a freaking psycho, and he just got in there. Yeah, that was bad. Oh, I agree. I mean, look, we know it's not good because the security. I mean, because what's it called? Jeremiah gets in with no issues. Of course, by then they had their whole like teams there. The what's it called? The group watching Lelouch. Maybe that's how he got in. But still, that's a good point. Real what that L pose also do. Just tell her how you feel and get rejected. Yeah, pretty much. You know, I could be wrong. It seems every time Nelly is in danger, it's almost always connected to Geass or to Lelouch's actions. She seems to be safer when she's with Britannia and R2. Yeah, probably. I mean, Lelouch kept her at Ashford for her safety. But when you do think about it, I mean, what's all the times you got in danger? C2 met up with her. She wasn't injured or anything, but technically speaking, C2 came in there. Mao, V2. Yeah, I guess so. Was she safer with Britannia? Probably, because they didn't have to capture. They already did. You had like a more security. I mean, Suzaku was with her the whole time, which is what Lelouch wanted in R1 anyway. So he got what he wanted with her being protected by Suzaku. It just happened to work out in R2 because Suzaku became a Knight of 7, I believe, and she became Viceroy. So it worked out well in both cases. But yeah, you're right. When she was a Britannia, she was much safer. Nina, there's please the website staying in the world with the P. You could do your own business. The amnesia version of Viletta is adorable. I agree. Yeah. housewife, Viletta. Loyal tag, indeed. Have you ever considered doing a video about Lelouch and Suzaku's relationship? It could be argued they were more obsessed with each other than in their love interest. To an extent, for sure. Consider everything Lelouch can do. Does Suzaku kicking a turret really seem unrealistic? See, the way I always thought about it was like, Lelouch is like the highest level mind could get, like intelligence wise, and Suzaku is supposed to be the highest level athletically you could be. So you combine the two, and then you have the smartest man in the world and the strongest man in the world. That's why their team up in the Zero Requiem was terrifying. You had two really powerful individuals working together. That's how I interpreted that. But yeah, I guess you're right. At this point, yeah, is anything really that unreasonable, unrealistic? For sure. Mao's revenge plan equaled complicated, unnecessary, and takes forever. My revenge plan equals shoot loose, shoot not late, and double tap twice. Pretty much. I mean, yeah, a been better solution. Well, Mao's an idiot and child, like what C2 said. That's why his plans don't make a whole lot of sense. I'm just saying, if you consider this episode, Lelouch had type of agents in the Black Knights. If he suspected Light being Kira, he could get agents to prove it by spying on him and then finishing him off. Well, when I did a whole Light versus Lelouch, I kept it kind of small. Like, it was just like small, maybe 5 Black Knight members versus Light's detective team. If you had all the Black Knights, yeah, Light be screwed because he could have a lot of people watching him all the time. And because he can figure out that Light needs a face and a name to kill somebody, he could have all the Black Knight members have aliases. If Lelouch has the whole Black Knights working with him, he could easily find Light's identity without his own detective work. I don't care, man. It's a good topic. Light versus Lelouch will we debate until the end of time. Poor Mao. He got shot to death by the one person life he truly cared about. Yeah, true. Mao's episodes had a lot of the show's best examples of dark comedy. He did a lot of sick things, but he was entertaining while doing so. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when he was Mao was always like laughing a maniac. He enjoyed what he was doing, and it's weird because sometimes he was quite brilliant, and sometimes he was an idiot with his psycho tendencies. But it's a fair point. Like, it was definitely a lot of dark stuff, dark humor for sure. Yeah, Mao was really bizarre. I guess you could say Mao wanted to subdue Suzaku first and use all of Suzaku's trauma against him. Plus, Mao doesn't have proof that Lelouch is Zero, but him knowing Suzaku's past can really mess him up. Yeah, but even like that's a fair point. But he was pretty confident. Okay, I'll say as much. Mao was going to tell the cops. No, he did tell the cops Lelouch was Zero. And he didn't have much proof then either. He read his mind. So I think if Mao was going to do it, he would have done it. Yes, the trauma is definitely a good thing to go to, but he knew everything about both characters. So I see what you're saying. At the same time, though, it wasn't handled that well. You have a character that's smart, you have to like. Actually, one thing, when you got a character who can do that, you got to be really careful about handling a mind reader type character. Like, you're not entirely wrong that, like, yes, he went to Suzaku, that was the easiest one to do, but he also knew Suzaku and Zero had a long history fighting each other. He also knew that Suzaku was the Lancelot pilot. So this is why mind reading characters is hard to do. If I ever made a story, I would never include a mind reading character unless I gave them very specific restrictions on their powers, because otherwise, it's just not good. It's hard to write it. I need a life-size statue of C2 eating pizza. Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? Okay. All right, now, since you guys stay long enough, I have a special treat for all of you. And no, it's not endless pictures of Lelouch. Although, if that's your thing, I don't really care. Let's see. Gotta close all these tabs. Okay. We're not going to generate code. Now, I have a bunch of summons I have to use up. So it's going to be really... Hopefully we get something good. You guys hear it? I don't know why. 1 second. Huh. Okay, yeah. Okay, close it. It's fine. Oh, hold on. Let me try something here. I don't know why you're not hearing it. I can't hear it. Hear this stereo. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Maybe 1 second. Yeah, I can't hear it. What the hell? All right, I'm gonna close the game and restart it. Give me a second here. I don't know why it's acting up on me. You should totally hear it. This is really frustrating. I want this picture of Lelouch. That's funny. Yeah, where's the sound? What the hell? I didn't mute my did I mute my thing? Oh, I did. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. This is I'm like, what the hell? I didn't do anything. I totally did. Code Geass. Genocide Coldo. That's Viletta. I saw some gameplay footage of Renia, Akito, and Orpheus. Man, it's epic. Yeah, they're cool to use. Look, I want one of them. Ah, there we go. Now you can hear it. Hear all that wonderfulness. Okay. Here we go. We're first going to do 10. Here, see? I got 12 tickets. We're going to do 10 level 2 or 3 summons. I don't have Llyod yet, so for God's sakes, please give them to me. Here we go. Please. Give me Llyod. Let's play this stupid slot machine. Please. Give me Llyod. Okay, Gigi, that's good. Oh, this will be good. This will be good. Oh my God, this will be very good. We have... Oh, this is... Why did she talk like Viletta? That was weird. Guys, this is really good. We have C2 and Gigi. This is good science. She's freaking out. Here we go. Come on, give me Llyod. I've been waiting for him for the longest time. Okay, we got 1 3 coming. 2 3s. Okay, here we go. Come on. Let's do this. What we're going to get first. Okay, Cycle, let's go and get some relic points to level her up. I hate this alternate art of her. It's disrespectful. Next. Shirley. Okay. Next. Viletta. Very nice. Okay. Here we go. First 3. Toto. Jamie Knight, are you playing the game? I was considering starting an alliance. If maybe you want to join it, we can what's it call it? I started my Discord server, by the way. I have a whole Genocide Code section. If you guys want, I can start an alliance for people who want to play the game. If you're interested, let me know. Anyhow, Toto. I didn't want Toto. I already have him. Damn it. Shut up. Nobody likes you, dude. Nobody. You know, in this game, I don't play as Tamaki, but apparently in this game, his ability is he does damage to himself and to the opponent. Okay, more Viletta points. Whatever. It can't hurt. Shirley's MVP of the game. Maybe. What's next? Toto. Alright, that's something. Toto's alright. Yeah, oh, you must have been late, Emmy fan. Yeah, I started a Discord server today. I just finished, well, I didn't finish it, but I got a lot of it done. Here, I'll put the link in. Let's see. Give me a second. Yeah, you guys are late. And I'm just kidding. It's totally fine. Wizard never arrives early or late. He arrives precisely when he means to. But yeah, here's the server. I'll invite you guys to it. It'll be in my description soon as well. I just haven't, here. Here's the link to it. I'm still working on stuff, but it's like, at least you have some platform you can go on now. Anyways, Toto. Nice. Who we get next? Toto. Alright, that's fine. I don't mind Toto. She's a really good character. She's got very good support for everyone else. I've even seen, high-level players use her in the game. So she's actually a pretty solid player. Here we go. Come on, Llyod. Oh, you mother chuckers. I mean, I know is actually a good character, and I could use more relics of her. But damn it, I wanted Llyod. F you guys. And her pose is so demeaning. Damn it. Fudge this game. Okay. You know what? We're gonna keep going. I'm not satisfied. One more summon. Okay, Gigi. C2? Oh. She's not excited. I mean, alright, let's just get my freaking 2 and call it a day. I really wanted Llyod. Is it that hard to get him? Oh, wait! We got a 3 coming! Hold on. Yeah, the duplicates are back. F me. We got a 3! Ooh, Lux! This is not a bad character either. Oh, this is pretty cool. So, if you guys don't know, Lux, I think her name is Lux. Let's see. I didn't need to translate it. She's from Zio the End. So, it's kind of cool that I have both characters now from the story. I have Zio and Lux, I think her name is. Alright, I'm satisfied. I'm done summoning from 3s. That's a nice pickup. She's a great character. Okay. Alright guys, here's the moment of truth. And now that I got a new character, I can do one more summon. Alright, I'm guaranteed 1 4-star. Can we get Akito? Can we make it happen? Or Renya. Or C2. Please, for the love of God, not these two. I mean, I'll say as much. No duplicates. Last time I did this, I got Lelouch. Which I didn't want. Alright, come on. Please, for the love of God, give me a good character. Here we go. Level 4 coming here, and it better be who I want. Renya, please. Yes. Renya or Akito. But for the love of God, a new character. Don't give me duplicates. Please. I worked so hard to grind in this game just to get these tickets. Come on. Oh my God! Look who it is! It's Akito. Yes! Thank frickin' God. He's a rook too. Oh, that's awesome. A rook attacker. Thank God. If I had got a duplicate, I might end the stream right here out of pure rage. Let's take a look at our new characters. Oh, here's the Halloween Gigi. Here's Gigi. Look at her outfit. I mean, I don't know what to think of it. It's like, there's this one and you have this one. I hate both of these alternatives, but... Oh, I got Euphemia. I didn't tell you that, guys. I got Euphemia a couple days ago. She's alright. You know, she's a really powerful defender, too. This perspective of her is kind of creepy, but, you know, she's pretty good to use in the game. This reminds me of Mario Kart packs or Call of Duty care packages. Look, this game, these are like loot boxes, okay? They turned the whole thing to a slot machine. And apparently, like, these are gacha games in general, so it's kind of frustrating. But look, I got Akito, I'm not going to complain. Here's Lux. She looks pissed off for some reason. I didn't do anything to her. Okay. There's Zio. Yeah, these two are best friends. I think they are. And they both use lightsabers in battle, which is so cool. Look at this. See? The lightsaber. And he dual wields too, which is so sick. And she also uses a lightsaber too. Her attack is so cool. She spins into attack. So basically, EA. Yep, pretty much. But this is it, people. Akito. We can now have the W0 unit in full. Oh wait, we need Layla. If we get Layla in this game, we get the whole, the entire W0 unit. Because we have Akito. Here's I got older before. She's bad. I love the character, but she's so bad in this game. You guys have seen, like, she just dies all the time in combat. I got Lelouch, of course. Cecil. This guy is from, I think, Crimson of Blood Pack. I haven't used him much yet. He's okay. There we got, of course, Ryu, Yukiya. I know. Of course, I use this pose, not this one, because, yeah, I think you already know. Okay. Yeah, even she's pissed off too. Gino, Toto, Mao, Nunnally, Shirley, Jeremiah, Cornelia, Dietar Reed, Klaus, Futaba, Toto. Alright. Let's see. That looks so cool, man. I'm so excited. I want to level up too. Can I level them up? I got anything to do work with? Damn it, I'm out. Okay. Alright, I gotta play some here. Let's play some Halloween games. Well, we can, by the way. I just active our W unit. Yeah. Look, he's hard to get. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had to grind. Just so you know how this game works. You probably do, but if you want to get a rainbow ticket, if you get everyone's intimacy to 10, you get a free ticket. And if you get everyone to, if you get 10, no, one character to 10 gives you a ticket, 10 gives you a ticket, 20 gives you a ticket, and 30. So you get one per character, getting their intimacy to 10, and you also get one if you get a certain number of characters to 10. So like these two are pretty close to 10. I now have 2 new characters. That's 2 more tickets. So I'm trying to collect these rainbow tickets as much as I can. I have like 41 relics, but it's not enough to level her up. I think I can level Toto though. Let's see. I need another 40, so I can't even level her up. What about Toto? Can I level him up? Or I don't have enough. Not even close. Okay. All right. Let's do W0 battles in the in here. These fights are really easy to win, so we'll just do that. We'll go in the first one. Akito should be comparable even here. I'm gonna make a new team. We'll call it W0. Maybe we'll do a royal family too. The game doesn't give you active bonuses for using certain teams. If I was to fix this game for myself, I would give specific bonuses for having certain characters together. Like for example, the royal family, the Black Knights, all Japanese, all Britannian, the W0 unit. I mean, you know, stuff like that. They don't really have that in this game though, so it's kind of frustrating. I'll put him in the back. Ryu is terrible. I hate him so much in this game. He's just the worst. When I first played this game, before I like upgraded everyone, before I deleted and started over, because I did it several times because I know what the heck I was doing. Ryu, I put so much effort into him, and he kept freaking dying. I was like, you suck, dude. But unfortunately, he's a shield member, so he has to stay in the front line. Shields and swords go in the front, support go in the back. I'm guessing Layla will also be in the back too. We'll put Euphemia. You guys haven't seen her in battle yet, so she's kind of good. Oh, damn it. That's not what I wanted. I wanted her in the back. It's kind of random. Euphemia the W0 unit, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's do this. Okay. We'll do that afterwards. We'll do a bunch of fun teams. We have like all night to do this. What time is it? Well, not all night, but we got enough time. Okay. Let's get some items. I want to level Akito. I'm trying to get 0 to level 80, so I can actually although I think this challenge ends tomorrow, so I'll never beat it. This is so cool. They're all working together. It's awesome. Very similar winning pose. Yeah, seriously. Don't laugh, dude. It's not funny. This isn't funny. Okay. Maybe a couple more battles. I can get Akito to level 30 at least. I got Akito. I was so expecting the game to pull a curveball at me and give me like Totsuya or Arthur the Missy Streets. I don't even hate those characters, but just like, dude, give me Akito or Renya. Oh, he's dead. Damn it. Alright, I gotta level him up. He's not strong enough. Is leveling up the free 0 worth it, or should I just shelve him? I think he's very powerful. I personally like leveling him up because his special ability is pretty good. 4? Damn it. Saijinjiku. 0 is very powerful. My best team is Zio, Lelouch, Zero, Nunnally, and where is it? And I had like her at 80, but Gigi 80 is not that great. You're really better off with as many 4s as possible. The problem with this game is that like there's a ranking you get for your characters. I'll show you what I mean. When you go into battle, so let's just pick this one. See, like this is your overall strength, and that's how much you need to win. And level 4s always give you more, even if you have the same. Like if I had Gigi and Zero both 80, Zero will still give me more because he's a rank 4. It's kind of stupid because it makes using the lower level characters like not worth it, which should never be the case. Everyone should be equally effective, but the game doesn't really operate that way. Oh, okay, cool. We'll put him in there. I'm not choosing well. What I have available to me. I grind a lot in Abyss mode. I literally have it soaking while I'm at work. It's great. I come back like, oh, look at all this stuff I got. But yeah, we'll go give him the Shin K. Which, by the way, he's not in the game yet. Where is Shin K? What makes Llyod good? Llyod apparently he protects all your units. He's a good support character. That's what makes him good. He's very good at protecting your units. He's that's how I understand him. Someone explained this to me on Reddit. He's a really good character for protecting your units. He buffs them up. Although Euphemia apparently is the best defensive character in the game. Or support character. And which one could give Euphemia? I'll give her the Rolo. Oh. I'll give her Rolo. Okay. Let's do this. No dying, guys. Is there a Rolo or something? Yeah, Rolo is he's the Codex, or Code Link. You can give your characters items to boost them during combat, so I gave him the Code Link to improve it. He keeps dying, you know. Stop dying, Akito. I don't have enough items to heal you yet. We're almost there, I promise. Where's my mouse? Oh, I see. It kept like fluctuating from one screen. Here we go. I'm literally just trying to get Akito to level 10 so we don't keep dying over and over again. This is literally the easiest you can go, and we're still having problems. I wasted all my resources to get Zero high up. When I mentioned Rolo, the first thought was someone who had a Rolo candy. Yeah, Rolo, yeah. I've seen Reddit posts about that. It's pretty funny stuff. Like, joking, of course. Okay, let's see. All right. When the enemies get harder, we'll see like their specials in action. I have to keep doing these. I have to keep milking this because Akito's not strong enough yet to fight in a serious battle. I must admit, for a guy who's supposed to be really serious all the time, his appearance is quite adorable as a chibi. I'll give him credit; they did a good job designing him. The game's animation art is fantastic. The other parts of the game, well, not so much. Almost there. We're almost there. Anderson. We are almost there. By the way, speaking of Ayano, can I boost her up? Oh, yes, we can. Level 1 coming up. Nice. These silver books are like impossible to get. It's like so stupid how they designed this game to, like, you need them for all your leveling up, but they're just impossible to get. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep going here until I get him to level 10. Then we'll move on to harder battles. Or I could have him, all I see in red is a bunch of Lelouch C2 counts, and that's all very showing. None of Lelouch? I see a little bit of Lelouch. It was like a random post on Reddit. I should be more clear. It wasn't like they always post about it, but I saw a post where Reddit, they discussed how Rolo was a Rolo or something. Maybe it was Facebook. Who the heck knows? Bismarck? Oh, it's too late. Man, this is so cool. Akito Akito, your Ghost of Hannibal is a Halloween. You can creep up the score and scary opponents. Well, people were scared of him. That's very true. Maybe one more time again, but it's level 10. Man, a rook, sword. That's a very powerful combination. I mean, what's it called? Cornelia is a rook, sword, and she's very powerful. Oh, I didn't know Rolo was a candy until I mentioned the name Rolo. My friend showed me a candy. Yeah, well, when I was growing up in elementary school, Rolos were very popular. Rolos, I loved Butterfingers growing up. That was my favorite candy. Milky Way. Was that a Cecil? Hold on. I think we got a Cecil relic. Unless I was, unless I missed that. I'll just get it down here. Oh, can I get Psycho level 2? Yes, we can. Ninja? Yeah. Whatever you say, honey. Where's Cecile? She's a fun character, but she's not, qualified. She's not that powerful. But I love using her, though, in combat. I haven't liked the character in general. Okay. Akito. Can we get you to level 10? Will my scroll bar ever work? Okay. Almost. Alright, we're going to have to speed this up a little bit. I got an idea. I hate to do this, but we're going to cheat out some stuff. Okay, I'm going to... Not this one. Hold on. We'll go to here. I think it's in silver books anyways. Let's see. Silver books? No, hold on. Silver books. Nope. 1 second. 1 second. No. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. I got plenty of AP. I didn't use any of it the whole day, and I got a bunch of, like, what's it called? I have a bunch of healers, or replenishers for it. Come on, where are the silver bucks? Oh my god, where are they? I guess we'll start from the beginning. Basically, you get certain items when you win different battles. So I'm trying to find one of those silver books because they're like hard to find in the game. Like you can collect chess pieces with the greatest of ease, but silver books, forget it. I think it's 120 maybe. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I did this. It actually has not been a while, but I'm just an idiot. 112. 120. This is so frustrating. Where are those books? No. Alright, 1 second. Nothing. Maybe it was in hard. It must have been hard mode. where they had silver books for you. Yeah, right. It was hard. I was right, but the wrong mode. I think it's hard 120. Yeah, there we are. Okay. So in this game, you can simulate a bunch of battles with your characters to... Oh, God, Tamaki. So I'll put him in there, and I'll put Lux in there, too, since he's... whatever, we'll put Lux in there, because she's better. Okay. We'll do 4 battles. That should be plenty. Happy Halloween, guys! See, you got a rainbow ticket. There you go. And we got 3 books. Yay. Alright, now let's level them up. Just gotta get them to 10. There we go. Done. I'm gonna break the limit to get them to next level too. Let's see. Ooh, that's not bad. Let's do it. Let's get him to higher. I like Akito. Okay, now we can play for real. Appreciate the patience. Now we actually can take it. This kind of reminds me of Clash of the Royal, except not as balanced. Even the common cards can be good. I will say in this game, if you don't care too much about, like, let's say, beating the game on hard, you can be moderately successful with an average team. If you want to beat this game for real, no, you gotta use the best characters. It's unfortunate, but it's just how it is. Okay. I'm gonna try to beat this boss real quick, and if I can't, well, oh well. We'll move on to something else. And in Zio. This is my best team at this point. 91. What do we need to beat it? Oh, we're not even close. What if I put in a holder in? Yep, not even close. Okay. Never mind. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, wait. Actually, let me try one more thing. And I'm giving you guys a headache. Let me try one more thing here. What if I put in Gigi? See, Gigi's level 80, right? And she's at 1 rank. And I swapped out a 67 level 0. And her whole battle thing went down horribly. It just shows you, like, again, why they do that, I don't know. Yeah, I've kind of beaten everything you can beat at this point. I guess we'll do some random battle. We'll do some random. Oh, no, I got it. So in R1, let's do this. They unveiled more of the more chapters in 2. You had to fight Suzaku. I think it was. Let's see. Was it this one? No. You get to fight Suzaku. It was great. I killed him, and I honestly, I was laughing. I thought it was great. I don't hate Suzaku or anything, but it was. I don't know why. It was really it was wonderful. It's wonderful. Where is he? I know I fought Suzaku. I am not crazy. He was in one of these battles. Give me a second here. Yeah, right here. See Suzaku. Let's go kill him. Let's kick his ass. I have Code Geass DVD, but not Blu-ray because what if I need to watch and there's no Blu-ray player available at the time? That's a fair point. I have it on Blu-ray. Huzzah. But I get it. It makes sense. Do you have the Bandai or the Funimation? I hope to God you have the Bandai. The Funimation is a waste of money. Lelouch and Akito. Yeah, we're going to do it. Let's do it. Okay. I'll put Akito on the front line because I'm an idiot. And then, let's see. This will be complete fun. So we'll have Toto. We'll have Japanese power in this battle. Let's see. Oh, Futaba. Yes. Different generations, too. Where's Futaba? I don't want Zero and Lelouch. I think that's stupid. So we'll take him out and put in Sayako. And nobody likes Sayako. I'm just kidding. Sayako is great, but shoot. I guess I could put Yukiya. I don't want to use Yukiya. Man, decisions. Honest to God. We'll use Cecil. I know. You guys probably not happy with this, but it is what it is. Okay, let's go. We'll do Royal Family next. Oh, you got Bandai. Good. Bandai is the best version. The rest of it can go screw itself, but Bandai is actually very solid. That's good. Suzaku was a normal soldier in the beginning of Code Geass, but when he caught Lelouch, Charles just made him Knight of 7. It's more complicated than that. So basically, in the story, yes, he betrayed. Oh God, Akito's still dying. No, Akito. Oh damn it, we're not ready. Shoot. Hold on, let me pause. Okay, so to answer your question, basically, Suzaku was made with 97 by Charles, right, by betraying Lelouch. However, in the manga, Lancelot and Gurren, Suzaku had to go through several trials to become the Knight of 7. He fought like a bunch of Sutherlands in the Lancelot. I'm not gonna pull a picture now, but if you read Lancelot and Gurren, which you can for free and translate it, he fought a bunch of Nightmare Frames at once to become Knight of 7. He had to earn his title. Akito, you piece of crap. Where are you aiming at, Lelouch? The enemy's over there. Damn. There he is, Suzaku. Oh, I'm using the wrong gas power. Oh well. Look how fast he went down. Look at he saw the he went down really fast, didn't he? Like a ton of bricks. Lelouch, Akito, and Alderan. Problem is, Akito, he's just not there yet. If you don't get character level 30, it's not a good time. Damn it, he's not ready yet. Sorry, Akito, I gotta substitute you out for Alderan. When you're ready, we'll put you in. You're not quite there yet. We'll use Pumpkin Lady and all right, we'll do like a crack team. People who would never team in their whole lives. There's like no connection with any of them. Detar, Jeremiah, and I'll put in Toto. There we go. A random team you would never see in real life. And the crack team up. It was sad. Yeah, the ending of R1, R2 was very sad. That's why some people don't want to even bother with the new stuff. Yeah, it was a very emotional end, for sure. It's weird too because Lelouch was, I mean, at some points he did awful things, but at the end of that story, you felt for it. It was really sad. I don't know if I cried in the episode, but what I will say is that I was talking with Zero Requiem for weeks, months after it happened. I mean, like on an ongoing basis. I don't mean like, you know, I like a day after. I was discussing for a while. I mean, you could ask anyone I knew, friends, family. Like I was discussing that Zero Requiem for so long because it had such a strong impact on me. I think I wrote a whole like essay on an AMV about it. That's how like serious it was. Let's see, we're out of AP, right? Because this game sucks. We totally are. Okay. We have to go back because I want to get more books. So I can, and then we'll use, once Akito's level 30, we should be good enough. I hope. I got a bunch of the AP tablets. Look at that shit. How'd I get 2 of these? Alright, I'm not oh, I know why. I'm not using them right now, but I know I got 2 of them. And also, one other thing too. Let me, I think it's some mission stuff. Yeah, let's go collect my stuff. There we go. Some money, tablets. Yeah, okay, and then give myself a zero relic, and one more for the tablet. What are these things again? I always forget. What is this? Clear story 20 times, clear story 30 times, clear story 50 times. Kill 300 enemies. Okay. And what else? Let's see. Receive 10 awards in the newsroom. Receive 20 awards in the newsroom. Okay, we haven't done that yet. We can't for this round. Well, that's debatable if he lived at the end. No one knows for sure. I mean, my friends and I discussed it, and we had differentiating opinions on that topic. Oh damn! I didn't. Bunch of stuff here. Even though Lelouch did bad things, I couldn't help but want Lelouch to win. Yeah, it's the same thing with Llyod too. People, I don't support Llyod, by the way, but there are people who like want him to win, even though he wasn't a good person. It's a weird phenomenon because in real life you would never do that, but for some reason in anime or any show, I guess you can like. It's kind of like Walt White is his name from Breaking Bad. I never watched Breaking Bad, by the way, but I'm pretty sure it's the same type of thing, same deal. And we'll put Guilford in there. Actually, we're not putting Guilford. F Guilford. We're putting in Viletta. Okay. Again, more crack team-ups until Akito is battle-tested. By the way, Schneizel is described as lawfully evil, Charles neutral evil, and Mao chaotic evil. Let me say that again. You said Mao... Schneizel is lawfully evil. That's true. Charles neutral. That makes sense. Mao chaotic. Yeah. Lelouch is also chaotic neutral. Makes sense. Lelouch lived at the end of the original Code Geass. He was a carriage man. I don't think so. I haven't... Wait, why are we... Damn it, I didn't want... I don't think so. I thought the creators specifically said that was not the case. I mean, maybe I misread what they said, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. That was a theory going on for the longest time. Like, when C2 says, you know, right, Lelouch? I'm pretty sure she wasn't... she was speaking figuratively. I mean, that could... What the hell was that? That was cool. You see that leap that... Do you see that? Hold on. Look at Psycho for a second. Look at that. What the hell is that? That was really cool. I didn't know she did that. That's... Damn. That has to be the coolest moves in this game. What the hell was that? Damn, that was awesome. Alright, Psycho's my favorite character now. And I'm just kidding, but damn though. That was really cool. Sorry to interrupt. So, continuing on here. My friends didn't watch Code Geass, who didn't watch Code Geass, watched it and they said, how can I be sad? I'm like, because you didn't watch the anime, you idiots. Hey, you guys know of Young Defiant? He's this YouTuber who, what he does, I don't know if he's being serious or not, but he just rips on anime just to rip on them. He did an entire discussion of his, like, I think it was 10 garbage anime, and he said Code Geass was awful. And then his other video he did about top worst protagonists, he said he hated Lelouch and he was happy when he died. It was so funny. I don't know if he was being serious or not, but I couldn't stop laughing because how can you take that seriously? Alright. 30? Ugh, almost. Almost there. Almost there. We could toy level INO. I'm not sure why I don't want to. Not yet. Okay. Back to it. Let's keep getting them books. Once Akito's level 30, then we're good to go. Ulr's King's Trial, let's go. They got rid of the scene to make the scene more mysterious, but there was a scene that had to cut where they showed Lelouch as a stagecoach driver. You know, again, I don't know if that's true or not. I have seen... That is so cool. She jumps like that. It's so cool. There are, like... I saw a thing about that, but I've never seen the image of it. I feel like at this point it would have surfaced somewhere. In the recap film for R2, not the new ones that came out, but in 2009, it said that Lelouch died. Like, it straight out said it. So I don't know if they retconned on purpose, but hold on. Viletta, help out, please. Thank you. Worthless. Psycho, show how it's done. Thank you. Yeah, go. And I was saying, I'm not sure, like, I'm sure an image must exist that proves this, because I haven't seen anything, and I've done a lot of research on this, probably more than you may realize. Not I'm saying you haven't done your own research, I'm just saying I've looked into this heavily, and I don't recall any specific instance where that could have been the case, but it's cool Lucius still alive, and you see an image of Lucius in the character. I know, but like, I don't know if I've seen that, though. Like, is there actually an image of this? After this fight, I'll look it up. Buddy! Lelouch. Freeze those enemies. Kind of the two swords from Olerin. Badass. Oh, come on. I should have died the first stroke. The nightmare frame alone. She just whipped him a new one there. Alright, I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Alright. Lelouch wagon driver. Let's see. Oh, that was smart. I'll have to clean it up later. That was stupid. I just spilled water on my table. Good thing I cleaned it off, but damn though. Okay. I probably should get batteries wet. Or electronic devices. Oh, poop. Well, that was stupid. Okay. Anyways, let's see. Let's find images of it. Is this what we're talking about? This image here? Maybe it's this image we're talking about? The original ending, the cart driver smirks in response. His face looks like a Lelouch, so the cart driver might be a Lelouch. The crane on the cart next to C2 at the end of the episode, a paper crane similar to one Nelly made and taught Lelouch how to make. Lelouch could have made the crane; he would have been alive. Okay. Immortality, orange. The cart scene. Lelouch is not dead. Okay, there you go. I guess, is that what you're talking about? That smile with the card? Assuming this is actually real and not fan made. It's a video on YouTube. I'll look. Oh, maybe this is it. Let's see. Oh, that looks familiar. Okay. Now, was this edited or is this for real? Let's go on YouTube and see what the comments say. Only 150,000 views. That's terrible. It should be millions at this point. This is why Amos called Code Geass, because he can only with bow. Lelouch killed Charles. Sadly, the code will be transferred to him. When Nelly touched him, she saw the marriage like Lelouch touched C2's marriage before. I'll say this is a good point. Nelly touched him, she saw his memories, just like C2 touched C2's memories. Like immortals. Well, you know what? That's a good point. C2 was talking towards Lelouch at the end, saying, "You said the king would separate, but not quite. Meaning she's not alone with Lelouch." Okay, maybe. Lelouch uses Geass on the directors of Code Geass. Obviously, he wanted to believe he was dead. That's funny. I thought the writers fixed this. Is that really I guess so. I never saw this version of the show. That's weird. I gotta get some towels. I'll be right back. So I guess that was his face. So why did they change the ending though? That's the weird part. Well, okay, I'll tell you this much. Maybe that was the original Japanese ending, but according to the creators, they said straight out that he died at the end of R1, R2. He was dead in the original universe. The new timeline, he was brought back to life. So, regardless of what they tried to do originally, keeping it open-ended, which I think was the original intent, they eventually changed it to say, no, he actually for sure died because they have a new universe. All right, one towel was not enough. I will be right back. Okay. They changed the end to make it more mysterious. I don't know. I thought they were pretty confident about Lelouch being dead, but okay. Nothing I there was a person on Reddit, I don't know who it was. I became, I guess, friends with him. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but he had like sources for days proving that Lelouch actually died at the end of the Zero Requiem. He broke the whole thing down to like its bare essence. So maybe there's something that he doesn't know because he proved to me that because I said originally, yeah, it was ambiguous. Then he presented evidence that said it wasn't. So I was like, okay, I guess he was confirmed dead. The film said it, by the way. If you know what I'm talking about, there's a scene. I've showed it before, but I'll show it again. Give me a second here. It's from the last film. So the very last scene. Oh, no, not this. I'm an idiot. One second. This is not what I was talking about. My bad. Not this movie. It's called The Zero Requiem. Hold on. I want you guys to let me fondle over my files. Okay. Yeah, here it is. He passed away with smiles. This is from the film that came out in 2009. The roller scare hate him. He passed away with smiles. So that's how I know Lelouch died. Maybe they made this film to retcon it. Anyways. I don't know why I haven't seen this before. And it doesn't surprise me. I'm always learning new stuff. Anyways, so that's Psycho is really cool in this game. Let's see. Enough to get him to 25 at least. That's pretty comparable to get him in the gameplay. Yeah, it's good enough. It's fine. I'll put enough characters around him so he'll be comparable in battle. Okay, let's do let's do a boss battle. Ooh, that'd be fun. Did I get silver books? Not really. It's fine though. Let's see. Alderaan, Akito, Lelouch. We'll need a shield, so I'll put in Zio to protect Akito. And we'll have Deter Reed. You're on TV now, guys. You're on TV. Okay, and that's fine. We'll use Lelouch. It's not gonna hurt. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to what you said. They probably wanted to do that, but the Lelouch decided the story. Oh, Lelouch to know when the story comes in. Okay. Can we do Lelouch, Akito, and Alderaan team up for fun? Kind of reminds me of a GTA character. A one-man army from a actually killed so many people. Let's go, boys. Oh no, Akito, damn it! He's still not ready. He's not ready. Did Tamaki kill Akito? Wow, sad day. Sad day for the... Not a good day for anybody. Detard. Look at Zio. Freaking Darth Maul over here. I'm gonna start. I don't want to lose my AP on this crap. Akito is still not strong enough yet. Let me try the level 20 battle on hard. Maybe he can do that. Can he do that right, maybe? Oh, we're playing on hard. No wonder why he got killed. I'm so stupid. We were playing on hard. We'll be fine now. I'm an idiot. I was playing on a hard mode. Of course you would die. You gotta be level like 50, I think, to clear it. So that was stupid. We should be good now. Akito should be just fine. Better be fine. Oh, cool. His nightmare frame. Wait, why is Alexander not in the Liberté? Oh, darn it. I think we talked about that. See, she gets the Lancelot High Grail. Akito gets a generic Alexander. Seriously? That's lame. It should be... here we go. It should be his Liberté one, but let's see what his special looks like. That was it? Oh well, that was kind of underwhelming. Deterred. Make them smile on camera. Deterred. Oh, it's too late, damn it. The heroes are saving the day, and Deterred's, he's analyzing it. Yay, level 2 for Akito. $30. That's not bad. John Omega. Apparently, speaking of Zio, it mentioned that Zio is hunted by aliens. So does it confirm yes it's from aliens? That'd be funny, huh? Maybe. At least Colin made sense to be able to kill some people, like how Nico had military experience. Right if Colin had no experience but killed many people on attack, that would make no sense. Not sure why my mind was very weird. That's funny. Plus, Locke is said to be a nightmare doll, hunted to eliminate Zio. Oh, so they're enemies. Interesting. Yeah, Colin trains hard in the story and gets a lot better with the nightmare frame for sure. She's the reason why I haven't spent like all my money in this game. Well, not my actual money, the game currency. I'm waiting for her to come out in the game. Until Colin's unlocked, I'm not spending anything. Cause I want to summon her. But yeah, no, yeah, sure. She trained a lot. That's why she's pretty OP. Suzaku did too, but when you join the military, I mean, when you see him, it's like been 7 years. So he went through a lot of training there, and he also trained with Toto too. Was that Akito screaming just now? That was pretty fierce. Oh, get on the floor, where he belongs. You have 3,900 gems. I would save them as much as possible. Like however many characters you have, I would just work with that and try to build it up. Like I have a lot of characters now, but I, for the longest time, didn't buy anything at all. I kept saving up. I had a team of like Toto and Ayano, and I just build off those two, and Cornelia. So I would save your gem as much as possible. The game is kind of vicious because it's like, hey, you know, spend 3,000 on here to get 10 summons, but you know how this works. It's a slot game. You'll keep playing because you want to see what you're gonna get. It's kind of perverse in that way. So don't fall into that trap, and instead just save your money till the characters come out that you want. But then again, I'm not sure what character you want to begin with. But that's what I've been doing up to this point because I want Colin. After Colin, I don't really care about anyone else. I mean, I like to get Chiba in the game, but she's gonna be a rank 2 anyhow, so that shouldn't be too hard. Layla will probably be ranked 4. Shamna will be ranked 4. Shalio will be probably 4 as well. I'm trying to think of anyone else I might want to get. Oh, obviously I want Renya, but I'm trying to think who else I want. Who's not in yet? Oh, Shin Hyuga. I want him too. Shin would be awesome to get. We're fighting ancient Chinese people. It's amazing. Been playing since launch day. Yeah, me too. But it's been like I had to leave my profile 3 times because I screwed up. And I was playing. I finally got the hang of it. Hey, Dieter got. He's not worthless. No respect. Dieter Brock had 3 legendary characters in the world. Yeah, Dieter's in the right. Look, Dieter wanted to observe. He's observing. Yajimega. Yajimega, indeed. Let's go next one. Let's see. Scroll. Yeah, there's anything good from these? Like, I don't want to just play to play. There ain't like silver books. Seriously, silver books are like impossible to find. It's so irritating. Nope. Ugh, these guys suck. I guess we'll just play the boss. I don't know. These all seem kind of not great. Ugh. I haven't used Detailed Special yet. It's kind of cool. I think he lowers the stats of the opposing, or he boosts your own. I forget which. He runs like an idiot, which is kind of funny. Money! Man, the Gawain is gigantic compared to other Nightmare frames. Come on, Deterred. I want to use special already. I forgot what he runs like an idiot. It's hilarious. He actually ran like that in the anime too, which is just absolutely perfect. Deterred. Deterred. There we go. You're on camera. He lowers the defense of the opponents. It's great. Yeah, Akito screams. That's what he was doing just now. It's pretty funny. If we got Orphans and Renya, the 5 heroes complete with Deterred broadcasting 5 of them. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, Jamaica. Oh, let's do let's do Royal Family team up real quick, and then I'll go back to Akito, or Royal Family and Akito. It's an odd couple. So we'll take care of Alderan, Zio. We'll keep these two. I'll put Euphemia, and replace Nunnally. And then I'll put Akito on the front line, which is the Smarts and Cornelia. Yep. Royal Family minus Akito. Because we don't have Charles. We also don't have Schneisel, Clovis, V2. Oh god, can you make a V2 in this game? Yeesh. I can't. Well, the Gawain is 7% total all nightmares. Yeah, no, I know the Gawain is gigantic. I'm just saying, like, I didn't realize, like, even the game is huge. See? She makes the cat attack people. See, there's Arthur, 6 on people. Arthur attacked a creature and killed it. Arthur may not be a character in this game. Oh, this is bad. That's the main character. Oh, damn, he killed... Akito was... Oh, wow. Damn. Okay, we gotta stop. But you see, Euphemia... Her main attack is to sick a cat on people. That's her main attack. Sick the cat on people. Unbelievable. Wow, still not 30 yet. Okay, let's see. How are we going here? We got all these accomplished yet? Not quite. We're almost there, though. Okay. Six the cat on people. Maribel to the game? Yeah, why not? That's not a bad idea. We're probably still going to lose. That guy's really powerful. That's the main guy in Crimson of the Blood Pack. Arthur should not be able to hurt anybody. Except Suzaku. Where's the mouse? Oh, I freaked out for a second. They both boost you up. It's so busted between Euphemia and Nunnally. It's crazy the amount of buffs they give you. The main character, Crimson, is Kyle. Also, yeah, Akio screams more vicious than it was in OVA. Yeah, you can hear him screaming in this. Yeah, Jamaica. His scream is, wow, it's pretty intense. Is that a Forknar guy? Yeah, it's the Forknar guy. I think that's the father Fork. Oh, Alicia. That's everyone's favorite code link is Alicia. Freaking love her. Okay. Ooh, we get a king. Those never heard. Of course, golden rooks are for I'm not sure. Let's see. We'll go to hard so I can get some more books. I think we should be able to actually win now with Akito. He's, I think, high enough. We hope. But this team is not sufficient. We'll have to put some people in there. Well, I think all these stories could be good Code Geass individual stories. You don't have to just, like... That's the thing that kind of upsets me. Like, you could... Zio, Arthur, or what's the other one? Arthur, Totsuya. Those all could have been great individual stories. You didn't have to put them in this game. Zio would have been really cool because if there are aliens in that story, that opens a whole can of worms. So I completely agree with you on that part. Or hopefully Akito can last. Zio's supposed to take all the damage, and he's not doing anything. Zio, oh my god, you're supposed to defend him. You're a shield. Be a shield. Zio's worthless. Don't show off. Help. Help for the love of God. Oh my god. Well, I guess Bismarck's Geass. Lelouch is too slow. Way too slow. 1 second. Okay. Let's remove this for Bismarck's. Okay. Now we're good. Now we are good. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Freaking Darth Maul. The lightsaber, I mean the... Oh, my AP recovered? Okay, I know, thank you. That was really cool what just happened. I think it's Nightmare Frame fired. Oh damn, this is bad. Did a cat just destroy a Nightmare Frame? I think you just saw that. Okay, one more grinding for the books. I'm gonna take a Euphemia. I'm gonna put instead Sayako because anyone who could jump that high deserves to be on here. Okay, and oh, you know what we need for Akito? He needs shield, not attacking power, because he's getting killed. So let's give him, yeah, we'll give him Jeremiah's Shinkiro, not Shinkiro, Siegfried. Yeah, I think from what we know, I think Geass did come from aliens. I mean, what the hell is the collective unconsciousness? I mean, what else could that have been? I'm sure that story they're still figuring it out because they can't destroy the lore with Zio the End, but that's true. Look at that. That's so cool. I don't know why, but just seeing her jump, it's such a simple animation, but it's so effective. Look at nunchucks right there. Oh, it does fire. Oh, that's cool. Akito's is pretty, it two smacks and then it fires. It's pretty cool. Zio is so OP. Oh my god, damn it. No. Akito, you... How is someone this pathetic? And Yeah, she does. Well, if we're going to do Lux, the problem for I didn't... well, let's see. I can level her up a little bit. We'll do basic battles. She's really cool. I used her in my first playthrough of this game. Here, we'll play like Janissary Code. It's basic, simple. all these battles are easy to win. There's like no, yeah, you could beat this whole thing and not even try. It's pretty funny. We'll try a little bit. Okay. I'll make a weaker team so you can see her in combat. So we'll do Lux, Akito, this weirdo, and then I don't know, Ogi. That's not Ogi. That's Ogi. And then I'll put in Viletta. He can be his waifu. I mean his wife. It's not a waifu. Okay. Let's see. This is a very powerful team. That was sarcasm. How are we doing on time? Yeesh. Okay. A couple more and I want to close it out. Okay. Yeah, see? She's got a pink lightsaber. Her special's awesome. She does a spin thing. Hopefully we'll see it. We're probably not going to see it. She's almost there. Okay, we can do the boss fight. Let's see. Whew. She has the one stroke, but if you get her special, she does a spinning technique. Let's see. That's a good theory. Renyan and Futaba can be just like Luke's. Although that was never confirmed in the manga, but yeah, I know what you mean. Come on, Lux, use her ability. Damn it! Our team is too strong. Hold on, I gotta lower it down a little bit. Give me a second here. Well, that wasn't creepy at all. Okay, one second. I gotta lower the our battle ability. I'm sorry, you're too strong. We have to put someone really pathetic and weak. Oh, I know, this is the guy, Tamaki. Perfect. Alright. Now we really suck. Okay. With Tamaki on board, we're going to probably lose. But that's a good thing, because we want to weaken ourselves, so, okay. God, I'm using Tamaki. That's how bad, that's how low I've sunk, Tamaki. We're actually winning too. That's depressing. Okay, so here we go. Watch this. How cool that was? Spinning blade. What a strange team up. The future, the past, and the present. What a strange team up. Ooh, level 9 for him. Ooh, he's in C's world now. Let's see. He does ruin everything. Did I get all my benefits? I mean, my bonuses? I wanted to, like... I did not. It's okay. Yeah, we're not there yet. That's fine. We'll have to... I'm getting a little tired. What to call it, but he should, no, not wrong area. C's roll. So he should be there now. So see, like, if I was to zoom in, so you can see, like, well, that's not zoom in. This is it. And I'll move this. So you can see Euphemia is there now. Gigi, this dude, he just showed up. Mao, he shouldn't be there. Yukiya, Futaba. Witch Gigi, and not like Witch Gigi, but like Witch Gigi. Al, Toto, Akito will probably be here soon. Shirley, and I thought I saw someone. Oh yeah, Toto. Okay, there we go. All right. Jeez, I'm tired. How come Lelouch can't seem to go if he's talking about getting tired? Because he's in bad shape. Lelouch is one of the, he's in really bad shape. It's one of his traits. No, thank you. I just want to spend some. I want some silver books. Silver books. Okay. I think we're ending here. It's getting kind of late. Appreciate you guys watching. Next week, I got things planned special for next week. I may not do Zero Capture. God, what we're talking about. It's Altarium. I may not do Jedi Code gameplay. I got a plan about something else. I saw a video that someone did, and I want to kind of replicate it. I'll explain next week. Anywho, thanks guys for watching. Have a good week, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. So, take care, guys. I'm out.